What? What's going on?
Yeah, I think I actually have no idea where he is though tonight. Nick T in general.
You look at his location. You should check him out.
I might have to do that
You
later.
might have to do it.
I might have to do that. That's okay.
We also could be live.
We should be live very soon. Yes. And you can check the chat, I guess, on your phone, right?
Yeah, of
that's
course,
cool. All right,
absolutely.
cool. Pete's having
We are
some
live.
computer issues. Okay. Cool. Hello, everyone. It's Dylan from Yu-Gi-Oh! Everything, and welcome back to another Talkin' Yu-Gi-Oh! Crazy 8's. This is episodes 125, 126, 127, the Arc 10 finale of Crazy 8's on a special Sunday night, the Ohdo Otes connection. And I am joined by a very good friend of mine, the one, the only, literally the only, Pete. Pete, how you doing tonight, man?
I'm doing good, man. Thanks for having me here. Yeah, it's a little quiet. I actually, looking at the stream, it looks like we're doing some COVID distancing. That's how far we are.
Yeah.
I'm happy to be here, man.
Well, I'm happy to have you. Obviously, this is a pretty low-key crew for the Arc finale. Just worked out that way.
Yeah.
Everybody, including myself, like there was no nights between now and Wednesday, and obviously next Wednesday we want to be caught up for 128, which just aired yesterday. There were no nights where I was free and more than one person was free.
Yeah, it was tough.
So I appreciate you taking the time,
Of course, man.
and coming
Always
here.
happy to help.
Just a busy time. I mean, we're all very busy people, so I always do appreciate it. Obviously, Dredge Cal and Nick T can kind of give their thoughts on Wednesday when we do the episode for 128. Of course, pending the subs release. But yeah, we've got a lot to discuss. 125, obviously not a dual episode. The Yu-He shopping episode with Zayat. 126, 127, then the duel between Yuumu, then Yu-He versus Yugioh. So we're going to get to all of that. I am very, very excited.
Me too.
Before I get to that, I do want to kind of talk a little briefly about my experience this weekend.
Yeah, give us a little bit of the insight of where you were, what was going on.
Yeah, so for those that don't know, I went to Astoria, New York, with actually Dredger. It was me and Dredge that were there to the Museum of Moving Image Dark Side of Dimensions showing. They were these two users, Montyverse and username Dickbats on Twitter. That is a good username. They were running this event, which was a Dark Side of Dimensions re-showing. It sold out ticket-wise. I know you tried to get tickets.
I did.
As did a lot of people.
Yeah, I failed.
And it sold out very quickly. There were a lot of voice actors there, so I saw Dan Green, Eric Stewart, a lot more voice actors as well. Met a couple of people. And it really, this weekend, really emphasized the duality of my life and my biggest passions, which are Yu-Gi-Oh! And content creation, community building, and sports. And obviously we had the sports today, we had the Yu-Gi-Oh! Yesterday. Just speaking with the Yu-Gi-Oh!, it was such an amazing event. And you know how Dredger is. He's a gambling man. So we get up to the event.
I can only imagine.
We get up to the event. First thing he says is like, all right. 3.5 over under. How many people recognize it? So he said, sets the over under at 3.5. And I say, I think it's going to be maybe 2 or 3. Okay. I felt most people that were going to be there had probably only seen maybe the original series. Mm-hmm. And my channel is a lot more, I think, it's catered to the original series, sure, but it's also a much wider spread.
It's diverse.
Yes. And I think Dredger underestimated, I think we all maybe underestimate sometimes how popular Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters is. Yes. How many diehard fans that series has, and how many fans that series has that are not really interested in any of the other shows.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't think that many people. I thought maybe 2 to 3. He kept track, and he told me at the end, 11 people came up
Look
to
at
me.
you, superstar.
Yes. No, it was incredibly, and everybody was so kind and humbling. It was a very heartwarming and flattering experience. Yeah, it was really cool. And there were probably 8 or 9 people that did recognize me, and there were 2 people that were in line that only knew at me because of my voice. Because think about it. If
Yeah,
people
if
only
you're
watch my
listening on the
videos or
background
shorts,
or something.
if you've never watched a stream, you really don't know what I look like.
It's true.
So, I mean, I appear in some videos, but not all of them.
That's
so
wild. If
yeah,
someone
yeah.
heard you speaking the dredge and it's like, oh my,
turned around and was like, wait, are you Yu-Gi-Oh! Everything? That's literally what happened.
wild.
Yeah, really cool. One person, John, asked me to sign his ticket stub at the
my
end of the night.
God, that's so awesome.
Underdog Chris, I met. He's in our Discord.
No way.
Yes, he was there.
Oh, that's
he
great.
came up, really, really cool guy. Knew me and Dredger, obviously. So, it was a really, really heartwarming experience. And I always say, man, like, sure, you go into the realms of Reddit and Tumblr.
You don't go there in the first place.
Right. You're going to find some toxicity, as you would in every fandom.
Oh, yeah.
But at the end of the day, there is so much love and there is so much community within the Yu-Gi-Oh! Fans. And this was just another event that I've been to that kind of reinforced my belief that there are so many more positive and happy fans than there are the negative and more toxic ones.
It's hard sometimes to block the haters out.
Right.
But, like, you can't go searching for it. You can't get obsessed with looking at every comment. And always negative people are the loudest.
Oh, yeah.
And that
always.
is not what dictates what the actual community feels about
Correct.
your content or you or Yu-Gi-Oh! In general, any of that stuff. And we've talked about that a few times. Dredge had that great rant when he talked about Yu-Gi-Oh! And loving all the shows.
Yeah.
And I think it's a moment like that, an event like yesterday, where I feel like that probably solidifies a lot of things in your mind of like, man, like, I'm so glad what I'm going to do next year because this is why I do it, for people like this.
Yeah, no, there
like
were
real life people you met.
Yeah, that John guy that I signed the tickets to. I mean, he's a father. He's got a 7-year-old
That's wild,
daughter who's like super into Yu-Gi-Oh! And it's like it also like
he's growing up on Dylan.
Well, oh God, I hope not. But there's so many people of all ages, of all backgrounds, of all life paths that all have this one connection to this series, and it's a beautiful thing. And then there's the other side of my life, hobby-wise, passion-wise, which are sports. And I know you're in the same boat as me because even though we do not root for the same football team, both of our teams felt the stinging defeat today.
It's getting tough out there.
Yes, almost by the same score as well. And we do root for the same baseball team.
We do.
Who just had a really
where we have camaraderie.
heart-crushing playoff loss about an hour ago
to
a team in a city that,
Yeah, I have.
I don't think we can even say
no,
what we want.
this is a very, I feel, family-friendly, heartwarming show. So I reserve all comments to what I feel about the city of Philadelphia and their sports fans. And I'll leave it there.
I think if we said what we wanted,
we get canceled.
The channel might be over.
There's
there's a lot of hatred towards that.
Oh yeah,
city.
when
when
you have that literal physical feeling of like a burning sensation in your chest of how much hatred you have, that's when you know it's real. Yeah. And that's what I feel every time I look at them.
That's when you know it's probably a little unhealthy.
Yeah,
and I'm right there with you.
I'm right in it.
I'm right there with you. So anyway, today was just such a kick in the nuts type of day with the Jets losing in the morning and then the Mets, of course, losing later. Yeah. You felt it obviously with the Rams at 4:00. Yeah. And sports has just never brought me like sustained.
I felt bad
glory.
for you. I was up this morning and I watched that whole Jets game.
Yeah.
And all I was thinking, I'm watching it there with my dad, is I'm like, man, I know Dill's with his family right now. I know he's going through it. And at least you guys clawed back and you made it a game.
Do, right? They give you the false hope.
But it's just, it's tough because you have hope when you go in any sports team. I certainly had hope as a Rams fan going into a season, and just to watch it week by week fall apart slowly. There's nothing more in sports painful than that.
Yeah,
it's really hard.
Right. Yeah,
to
it's
watch.
tough. It's tough, and but that's the duality, right? I had such an incredible Saturday, and that's the one thing. Even though the Mets and Jets have tried their best to end me and put me into a depression, which I mean,
I'm losing years with the Mets this season.
No,
man.
I mean,
I'm losing years.
Yeah, no, really. Even though they've tried their best because of the community, because of Yu-Gi-Oh, because of the anime, because of all of you guys watching, this always has inspired me and has always kept me upright in a way. So I just want to take the time to say thank you. First and foremost, I feel like I do not thank the community enough. If you were any of the people that came up to me, thank you. You do not know how much it meant to me. And also, you want to talk about like so many people out there that watch this show that we have no idea they even exist. I shouldn't say that. We just don't know who they are.
We don't know who they are because there's usernames.
There's usernames.
We don't.
I had someone who came up to me and said, "I just watched 95 of Go Rush. I've been watching your podcasts, which is the episode where all the Valkyrians die." Yugioh's death, and I
Yeah.
was like, yeah,
That's tough.
we just watched 127, and that was a pretty heart wrenching episode too. And the person was like, and I asked, I was like, oh, I always ask, what's your name? What's your username?
Yeah.
And I said, what's your username? And they were like, oh, I don't actually have a YouTube channel. I just watch your videos on my phone.
Look it up. And
Yeah, so there's people that don't even have channels that look
Yeah.
up my videos, and it's incredibly heartwarming. I know there are so many people out there that watch this channel, and if you get any sort of enjoyment from it, thank you. I really do appreciate it, and it was a really heartwarming experience, and hopefully there's more big Yu-Gi-Oh gatherings like that in the future. And I left that movie theater thinking one thing, man, and I said it to Dredge. We need another Yu-Gi-Oh movie. Come on,
I saw
man.
I saw
Come
your
on.
Twitter post, so I knew that's where it was
Oh
going.
my God.
Was it a good experience? The movie
Oh,
and
it was
everything.
great. Every time Kaiba shows up, everybody cheers. You think you were watching a Marvels movie?
Yeah.
It was unbelievable. First time Yugi, Joey, Tristan, they all showed up. Everybody cheered.
Well, we love it.
All the classic cheesy dub lines. The whole place went crazy. I mean, because you're watching with a bunch of diehard,
Of course.
fans.
Yeah, especially DM fans.
It was actually one of probably the best environments I've ever been in.
I'm so sad I missed it.
Yeah, I wish you were able to make it, man. I wish the theater was bigger. We could have easily fit 250
I know,
in there.
man.
I think it was a great event to the people that put it together.
Hopefully
Great
they have
job.
more like that.
I hope they do. I really hope they do. One of the people that puts it together works at that movie, so maybe they'll do one for Bonds Beyond Time.
That could be fun.
15-year anniversary.
Yeah. Or hey, maybe one day they'll host a new movie there.
Yeah.
Or maybe one day.
One day. New movie. Maybe in 75 days. That's a week ahead. I realize that. So.
Oh, is it really?
It is. It's been a week ahead this whole time.
Are we gonna do this? Are we gonna do this thing again where you don't have the remote? Cause let's fix it right now. There you go. Let's fix it right now.
There's no batteries. There's no batteries. Wait, maybe. No, I don't have the batteries. I'm sorry.
I said such brief hope for you, and you just took it all away.
I'll get them later.
Well, chat, we tried. I did try as he's falling apart back here. It's all right. At least we know where the remote is. Batteries are easily replaced.
Batteries are right upstairs. Well, that'll be fixed by the time we go live here next, I promise. But what does this all mean? Well, I wanted to once again take the time to thank you and anybody who took the time to spot me as well. But I will say this. Someone came up to me and they said, yeah, I'm caught up on Go Rush. There were two different people that actually talked about Go Rush, which was really cool. Wasn't
Really
expecting
love
that at all. And they had a lot of questions for me about, they were like, yeah, I watched your video on the interquill, and that's actually what got me interested in Go Rush. And
How about that?
Yeah, that was really cool. And they said that they weren't the biggest fans of how plot centric all the Otis stuff has been, where it feels like everything
I have
else
some thoughts.
is sidelined.
Yeah.
So obviously, I want to know your generic thoughts. We're breaking down 3 episodes. This is the third to last arc, we're assuming.
I don't
Right?
like even thinking
That's
that because
insane.
it's
It's insane.
it makes me sad. Eventually, we're gonna say goodbye to these characters,
Right.
but then I do get that in the back of my head of man, there better be a Yugioh 9, bro. There better be
dude,
something because I get so nervous around this time.
Me too, dude. If you get nervous, imagine how nervous I get.
I mean, yeah, especially what you're trying to do next year.
dude.
I can only imagine.
But I do want to start there. I want to start with Otis. It's obviously in the title. And listen, it is a big focal point. I'm assuming everybody here has watched these 3 episodes. No spoilers, of course, on 128, which aired yesterday. And I am aware. Actually, you know what? Very quickly, I'm going to do something we normally don't do. I'm actually going to read a donation I got 5 hours ago. So Elaine is now on the list. It's a pretty small list, but it shouldn't even be a list of people that have donated to me while I am not live.
Hey, I know someone who did that.
I'm sure you do. I'm sure we're talking about the same person. But there have been 6 or 7 different people that have done that. I greatly appreciate it. There was one time JR did it, and it almost caused me to get into an accident. I mean, it was unbelievable. I'm kidding. It was JR.
The community doing some bad things.
Donated for my birthday. It was an incredibly, incredibly generous donation, and I've reread it, and she was like, "Oh my god!" And I was like, "What?" And I was driving to the escape room. We were not close to getting in an accident.
You completed the escape room, didn't you?
We did. Yeah, that escape room we did complete. I'm being very overdramatic. That was not the case. But JR, if you're watching,
That's your
thank
brand.
you.
Overdramatic's your brand.
Of course. I'm a storyteller. Elaine Thank you for the $2 donation. This was 5 hours ago. Hi, Dylan. Make sure you watch the openings and endings. They have changed. Opening change was only visual. Ending was song and visual. New ending is ending 5. It is my favorite ending. Sorry to donate off stream, but the ending song has been driving me crazy. So new ending.
Hopefully like an earworm driving you crazy.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to tell you something, Elaine. I think right after this stream, we are going to react to it. That video will be out tomorrow, so you'll get my thoughts because we can react to the ending before subs come out, so not a big deal there. But Elaine, thank you so much. I want to start there, man. Your thoughts on, like, these last 3 episodes, that's a lot to put on you.
Yeah.
But, like, also with the discussion point being Otis. Someone came up to me, talked to me about Otis. I want to know your thoughts. Like, do you feel like the Otis stuff is a little, like, just too focused on right now? And is it causing you to not as enjoy the arcs as much recently here in season 3?
On the surface, yes. There was a moment when I was watching 127 where I was just like, man, this back and forth constant of Yumu and then Yugioh and now Yuhi of this Otis stuff, like, it does feel a bit, I don't know if dry is the term, but it's just like I'm over it. Like, I'm done. Like,
It's been going on for a while.
I want my characters back to the way that I want them. I'm sick of the Otis overhanging thing. Have the real Otis / creator show up. Like, I'm sick of doing this because we all know none of these 3 are going to be Otis by the end of the show.
So you're confident on that?
I'm 99.9% sure that none of those 3 will be Otis by the end of the show.
Very interesting.
So I'm over that part, and I want to get past that plot point and go to something new. And it just feels like it's holding back a lot of our characters from where I feel they could progress with only assumingly 2 arcs to go in the show.
Yeah.
And that has, on a surface level, been frustrating. Now, that being said, 125 was whatever. I mean, we don't need to
You didn't
talk
like
about
the date? We don't need to talk.
that episode is such a waste of time. That feels like it's like, hey, we need the animators need a break this week. Let's give them a real softball. Like that, or the writers or something.
You
or
really didn't.
I thought it was a horrible episode.
Oh my God.
I really did.
Wow.
I was so bored. It solved literally nothing. Nothing really progressed. Yuhi struggling with his identity thing. Who cares? Like, I was completely over it. And even his outfit again, and I know that's a consistent joke, his outfit that he chooses for himself, terrible. He looked good when she was saying he's lame, and then when she's like, oh, if you're confident in it, he looked even worse. It was terrible. 126, I really liked that episode. I thought it was a nice build up. I was a little apprehensive in the beginning because the Yugioh joining the duel thing at first, before we knew the Yuhi thing, I was like, I don't like that. I felt it was very like this whole lead up to Yuhi, and then Yugioh kind of doesn't really give a good reason to jump in, and then they just let him.
Yeah.
I was like, don't love that. Now, knowing the hindsight of Yuhi had a plan the whole time of what he was going to do,
Right.
totally okay with it. But at first, I was getting a little nervous.
Mm-hmm.
Them going back and forth, him sealing away Monster Reborn several times, and then ends up taking it, using it for himself, doesn't use it properly. And then a little bit of into 127, kind of the comedic bit of like, he's like, I'm Otis. I've lost all my memories. It's like,
fake.
but you clearly, you're you.
Yeah.
I thought that was really good. And it was, without going into too much detail of it, nice to see Kwai-Dul.
Yeah.
And I thought he said a couple interesting things.
Yeah, it's also the first time we've really seen Kwai-Dul and Yugioh like talk at that length, I feel like, without Kwai-Dul just taking over the duel entirely for him. So it was cool to see that like dynamic that we've seen with so many Yu-Gi-Oh protagonists, right? Yugi and Yama-Yugi, Judai and Yubel,
Yes.
Yusei, not really with anyone, but Yuma, Astral, Yuya, Yuto, Playmaker I to a degree. Like, we've seen that with so many Yu-Gi-Oh protagonists, and now I feel like Yugioh has his, like, spirit person, if you will.
But at the same time, like, I feel like all of those spirit people, or whatever you want to call them,
were friendly.
They were friendly, and even though Astral could be very kind of dismissive of Yuma, you knew he was always there for him.
Yeah.
Kwai-Dul, we know what Kwai-Dul is.
Right.
So I never trust him, ever. And I
Yeah.
love that, because I think it adds a unique thing to their relationship.
I agree. I think it would be a mistake for a viewer to just kind of blindly trust him, given all that we know. And, we don't really know if he's got another trick up his sleeve. We don't really know if Yugioh's got another trick up his sleeve. He was very silent throughout this duel. He's very good at that, but observing, and it makes you continue to wonder, like, are you actually, like, on the Darkmeister side here, or did maybe you want Yuhi to take this step, or did you need this Monster Reborn card to go off for some other reason? Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's always
I could see that one.
Right. There's always that layer of Yugioh. And so it'll be interesting to see what role he has, of course, in arc number 11 here. Crazy that we're through 10 arcs. I mean, it's really insane. So 127, got to talk about the emotional scene at the end.
Yep.
I think it's one of the more emotional scenes probably in Bridge Yugioh.
It's a gut punch. It hurts.
It really is. It's very sad. 2 kids, obviously, brother and sister. And even though I was someone who never, and I still to this day, putting myself in Yuumu's shoes, I just think she made a poor decision. It's something that I myself could never do. I know we've had disagreements on it. But I can't help but feel bad for her, even though I blame her for most of what happened.
Well, I mean, she's almost 100%.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
But, like, I still do feel like both of those things can kind of exist, because I saw a lot of the comments on my review just saying, like, oh, I don't feel bad for Yuumu. I saw a few people say it really wasn't Yuumu's fault. So there are a lot of, like, kind of diverse opinions on whether you should. And at the end of the day, this is one of those, like, at least to me, like, philosophical debates. I got it. That you can have with Go Rush that I really love. Like, should you feel bad for Yuumu? Is it wrong, like, to feel bad for her? Like, should she be fully blamed? Like, there's a lot of, like, debates that you can have. So what do you just make of all of that with how that scene played out for you, and like, your thoughts on Yuumu at this point now?
You're throwing that all at me.
I'm throwing it all at you.
No,
I mean, we got to get to it.
I'm here for it. Do I blame her mostly? Yes. Is she all to blame? No, because Yuhi still is. He's not an adult, but he's a fully fledged duelist, and he made a choice. He knew what he was doing, and he didn't have to do it. It wasn't like, oh my God. I understand it's like herself is kind of dying because she's erasing all her memories, but she's not physically actually passing away. So it's not like that's on the line and he jumped in front of the bullet per se. Like, he made that choice because he believed that it was for Yuumu and even for his ancestor later in Yuga. Like, he willingly made that choice. So now, yes, Yuumu is mostly to blame there. On the other end of it, do I feel bad for her? Is it wrong to feel bad for her? I don't think it's wrong to feel bad for her. And I do feel bad for her because whether you disagree or agree with the decision she made, she was fully confident and committed to what she was doing, which was a massive sacrifice and a big gamble. To have someone step in that you love and you didn't know they were going to step in, take that place of something that you thought you were going to fall on the sword, and now they did, the incredible guilt you would feel from something like that when it's not like she miscalculated, I guess, a little bit, but it's not, she never wanted that. That was never a play of like, ooh, I got Yuhi in the bag here, I'll manipulate him and do this. Like, she really was committed to what she was doing. And I feel so terribly for her that I can't blame Yuhi because he did the older brother thing.
Right.
But it's still at the same time such a gut punch, and I'm so interested to see where they're going to take her character, where now she's like in this weird Darkmeister / Yuumu who has now failed and has lost maybe the most important person in her life. How does she rectify what is ultimately her mistake?
Yeah. I also think, and I said this when Yuumu was revealed to be the Darkmeister, I think you could also make the case that Yuumu lost herself. And I said this in the review, but like let's just put it into human terms, right? I mean, she is a human. She's not an alien. You get sucked away by this weird, like, dark matter energy, which I still think was orchestrated, whether it was or not, we'll find out for sure. But I think somebody took her or something took her. But either way, taken away by this dark matter energy, and then is isolated for the better part of a month. I mean, if you go without any human contact for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. That is incredibly dangerous.
Yeah.
And it can easily just like lead you to insanity. There's
breaks
plenty
your
of
psyche.
There's plenty of studies on it of how important like human connection is, and it's not like she could even like load up like YouTube and watch a video or something. Like
She's just got that cat.
She's got
and that's it.
the cat and nothing. It's just vast emptiness until she starts like ending up creating the dark matter empire. But also like she discovered this, what I keep calling like a miracle drug. I've compared it to ecstasy. I've compared it to amphetamines, where it's like she, takes a lick of the dark matter like liquid. I was like, oh man, I feel all my anxiety and problems and negativity just like washing away.
Yeah, that was an interesting scene.
I mean, that was so interesting. And I'm like, man, when and it's a very sad thing that does happen, right? Like addiction to things that make you feel very, very good. It's a very common thing. It's a very human struggle to go through. And I'm sure a lot of us probably know somebody that has unfortunately gone through something like that. It's a very common thing that
it's hard.
happens,
it's very
unfortunately. But like there's
you got this.
I was gonna say placenta, which is not the word.
Plethora is what you were looking for.
Thank you. A plethora of reasons why it happens, but like one of the reasons could just be, man, it makes you feel good. It makes you forget about your problems. It's why a lot of people drink, right? You want to relax and take the edge off a little bit.
We know a couple people on this podcast. Okay. But yeah, I think that moment she was incredibly vulnerable.
Yeah.
Because not only she was isolated, but she was just coming off the heels of a very emotional duel that she ended up losing to protect her ancestor. So she has all these thoughts in her head that are kind of just left over of like, well, I don't know, how can I fix this or side with him or save him? And then you mix it with this extreme isolation and depression.
And fear. Will I ever see my brother
and
again?
Fear
Will I
and
live?
anxiety.
She almost died.
And now you have all those thoughts. And now you take this thing that's like, okay, hold on. This is making me, I'm losing my anxiety.
Yeah.
Coupled with you already have the knowledge of Monster Reborn. You're like, here's a brilliant idea.
Yeah.
And that was a very dangerous situation she was in. And I love they added that little context to figure out in that time what got her here, what was she thinking, and how did she discover all this. 2-minute scene, and I was like, I'm in.
Yeah. No, it was a very good scene, and I feel like just looking back on it, it kind of adds context. Like I think she did like lose herself a little bit, and I think she probably lost her sanity and wasn't thinking straight when she concocted the plan to become Otis. And then at that point, she was just steadfast in it. She believed that was the correct path, and she wasn't going to listen to anyone else.
It's not the same, but how many poor decisions could you think back? You're extremely tired, and you're like, you think at that moment, you're like, that's a great idea. And then later when you have some sleep and you reflect on it, you're like, that was a terrible idea.
Dude, and I always say that, especially when you're like a little angry, whether you're angry at a friend or angry at whoever.
Mm-hmm. You make your worst decisions then.
Always, dude. And it's always better, especially if it's late at night. And it's tough to do it. Just like turn the phone off, go to bed. And then when you wake up, if you're still angry, then okay, then like it was.
You got to deal with it.
But there's times where you'll wake up and you're like, okay, it's not that big of a deal. Yeah. Let's figure it out. With whatever it is in life. But I think that like, you do make your worst decisions when you are tired, and I can't even imagine the mental state that she was in when she created the empire.
That'd be awful.
Yeah. So for those reasons, I do. While I do, of course, blame her. Sure, I do feel empathy for her, and her character is now to me like the most fascinating going forward into these next two arcs. Like she's got to have, I think, a hell of a character arc here to, I think the potential's all there to be like, I think she can solidify herself pretty easily as one of the best girl characters probably ever. And I know that doesn't say much, but like, because it's, Yu-Gi-Oh, but, I'm
so
really.
Bridge has built a nice foundation.
Bridge has, and there's a lot of really strong girl characters. But yeah, I'm interested to see, like, is she your most fascinating character going forward?
Yeah, by far.
And who's second for you? Could be Yuhi, right? I mean, he's interesting.
I guess Yuhi, but I feel like that's the obvious one. Honestly, I'm really interested in see what happens with Yuna. Because now she's in I was wondering your thoughts. I wanted to get your thoughts on what you thought of her in this arc where, she was kind of playing the bad girl, and then really not only she gets foiled, but she's a lackey now to this new Otis.
Yeah.
And I wonder where that's going to put her mindset. is she going to immediately turn on him? Is it going to be a progression? Is she going to sign up with this? Like, I'm very fascinated of where she ends up.
She's got an amazing chance to, I think, grow a little bit as a character. Ultimately, I think she had a fine arc. I thought the duel with Asaka was really, really
It was very
good. Liked it a lot, actually. But I'll tell you what, she's going to be conflicted right between, okay, he is Otis. Otis, I'm going to support because that is what's best for Yugioh and to give Yugioh happiness in the future. But also, you have kind of that girl boss in her, right? Where now Otis, Yugioh Otis,
is changing everything.
Is changing everything. Go has a stupid name. We're going to change it. How much of that is she going to take it all? Or will she snap at some point and be like, all right, you know what? This has gone too far, and kind of break out of that, like, simping that we've always seen with Go Hyuna.
She does simp a little bit.
She always simps. She simped for Rovian, hardcore. Now she's simping for Yuna. Not Yuna, I'm sorry, simping for Yugioh. And maybe she'll, like, break out of that a little bit because of Yugioh Otis being, like, a dick to her. So I think she's going to be fascinating, and I think she has a chance to have a really, really good character moment in this next arc if she stands up to Yugioh Otis and does what's best for her and her company rather than what's best for a guy that she's chasing.
Especially a guy that's like 200 plus whatever it is years
that she's
in the
never
future
gonna be
that
with.
she'll never
she's
be
never
with
gonna
in
be
life.
With. Yeah.
So it's like, girl,
it's time to move on.
Wake up.
Like,
what are we doing here?
It's time to move on. Yeah. But you felt like she outgrew Rovian. I would love for her to outgrow Yugioh. And I think that's what her character is, like, all about, right? It's like this person who, like, loves super hard for someone and then, like, realizes at a point, like, hey, I've got to, like, almost, like, reincarnate myself and move on to something better for me because I've kind of stagnated as I've fallen into this love. And that's something that I think she's, like, one of the best characters in the show. Like, I really do.
I've liked her since the beginning.
I mean, you have, and I have not. But, like, I liked her after, like, you know, the second arc. But she's incredible. She's an incredible duelist. And if she can kind of go through another metamorphosis, which we saw with Rovian here with Yugioh and the love she has for Yugioh, into maybe some more, like, self-love and love for a community, maybe more so than an individual, I think she has the potential to have a real banger of a character arc.
Yeah, I think so. And I honestly think, like, if she stayed, I don't think she will, but if she stayed as, like, his right-hand man, this new Otis, I think also, too, she has interesting points she can make with her character. Like, I kind of like some of those moments where, like, she was a little evil. I was just like, you know what? I could also dig this if it goes this way as well. So I think there's so many fascinating ways you could take that character, and that's what's so exciting about what they can do in these next two arcs. Now, do they stick them? That's a whole nother question, right? One that we could talk about maybe later or whenever you want. But there is a lot riding on this. It's getting late in the show, and there are moments of getting a little nervous.
Hang on. What's your 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, 1 being the lowest? And chat, you can answer and play along as well because this is a fun game. What's your fear level for the remaining 2 arcs, assumingly, of this show? What's your fear level that, like, it's not going to be good?
I'm probably at like a 6.
Yeah, I was going to say 5.
I'm probably at like a 6.
And I feel like I'm always at a 5.
Yeah, I'm just... the house could be on fire. You're like, everything's fine
regardless
here.
of what show. Well, actually, yeah, regardless of what show it is, I'm
a little worried about the Otis stuff. I really am.
Yeah, they got to get it right.
It's just, we know what they did to us last show, and we talked, and it's not like my memory's that bad. Like, I remember leading up on those 7's Up podcasts. We were like, I mean, they're going to stick it, obviously. We've been talking about Otis since the beginning of the show, and they didn't. So, like,
not with Otis, at least.
I am very worried, and especially because they have dove 2 feet in of going completely into this Otis storyline. To the point where there are people, including myself, where I'm like, it's getting a little repetitive. I'm getting a little old.
I met one yesterday.
Right. It's getting a little old.
Really.
So,
in fact, the only person I talked to yesterday that's caught up on Go Rush, I think me and Dredger and that guy were the only people in the building that were fully caught up on Go Rush. And it was the complaint he had.
Yeah.
He also said, Yu-Gi-Oh! 9, let's do something different. He did say he wanted it to be Rush. He wanted it to stay with Rush.
I'm 100% fine with it being Rush. I don't want
Because I said, you want to go back to Master? He said, no, I actually really do like the Rush anime, but I don't want it to have anything to do with these 2 shows.
And we talked about that. We literally did talk about that. We were like, you know what? it might be nice to kind of get away from these.
Yeah.
You know, like I love Rush. I wouldn't mind staying with Rush, but like attaching it to all the characters and their ancestors might not be necessary.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm probably at a 5. What is chat saying?
Well,
Like-
I did want to get to a donation.
Oh my God, Jesus.
We got a $50 donation from Fuweeb. He said, "Hello, I'm more of a lurker."
Thank you so much,
But I
my
just want to
friend.
say that I have always had so much fun watching your podcast,
Thank you
even though
so
I don't
much.
follow Go Rush.
Thank you.
Always enjoy everyone's commentary and theories and jokes. Thank you for everything you do.
That was incredibly kind. You could have written that message without the donation. That was such a nice message. That was such a generous donation. You said that was Fweeb, the name, the username?
Fuweeb, F-U-I. Fuweeb. Fuweeb. You got it?
Oh, yeah. Fwee Weep, maybe.
Yeah.
Fwee
Could
Weep.
be Weep.
Weep. Fwee Weep. That's a great name. Little French sounding. I love it. Fwee Weep, thank you.
Everything you turned into French.
The French are all powerful, man. Thank you so much. Seriously. That is incredible because not only is that someone
it was very nice.
that's so nice, who's a lurker, and as always, shout out to the lurkers and people that watch, because I know there's a lot of people that watch this the next day on the channel. So shout out to everybody that watches and enjoys.
Future Nadine. There you
But
go.
to think, Future Nadine. But to think there's people out there like Fwee Weep who don't even watch Go Rush.
No, I know. Like,
And
hey,
still-
I love
and
hanging
still
out.
watch
I'm like, hey,
this
we appreciate
podcast.
that. Thank
We
you.
appreciate that so much. I mean, seriously. Now I'm wondering, we usually have like 70, 80 people watching. I wonder if on average, like 5 of them have never even seen Go Rush.
That's true. And also, that's
amazing.
actually a great point to
Thank
say
you
as well.
so much.
Appreciate all the love tonight. We've been hovering around anywhere from 115 to 125.
Oh,
greatly appreciate that.
Greatly appreciate
thank
that
you so much.
because
On
this
a
is-
random Sunday night, we appreciate that.
Exactly. Yeah, this is a random Sunday night. That was like announced shoddily in the Go Rush dueling stream on Friday. Huge thank you to anybody who came by that stream. So thank you guys so much. Listen, I want to keep bringing you guys content. The donations like that have helped me out so much and are a very large reason that I am able to make this leap. I have been able to now save thanks to the generosity of you guys and kind of create like a cushion where I can make this leap into full and only full Yu-Gi-Oh! Everything. And I say only full because I probably do put in like 35, 40 hours a week into the channel regardless, but I'll be able to like fully focus on it, only focus on it, exclusively focus on it starting in May. It's going to be a lot of fun, man.
How much did you sleep Thursday to Friday night? Because you came
you
home.
remind me?
So I streamed an insane baseball game.
Yes.
You came home, did the reaction, and on that
Yes.
reaction, I only watched the beginning. You're like, yeah, I got to start this really quick. I also have a review to record and
Yeah,
edit to
that's
get
right.
out for tomorrow. And then you also worked and then did like a 6-hour stream on
Thank
Friday night
you
and then stayed up late for
for
that
the
and then went to the
dono.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Event Saturday. So how much sleep have you had in the last 3 or 4 days?
I haven't had that much, probably an average of like 4 or 5
Dude.
an hour. I know, not the healthiest, but like, I've really grinded for like years now, and you know that, and I know you're
but,
a
like,
hard worker.
At some point, I'm like, man,
Well,
I want your heart to be
Well,
like
I'll be honest.
healthy.
Like Dredger also reached out to me and he was like, "Man, I'm a little worried about you. Like, please make sure you're getting sleep."
Like, you
I
got it, man.
I will always put my health first.
That's how you age yourself really quickly.
I know. I will always put my health first, and it's the point where like I'm in that final stretch, you
I
know?
know.
And that's what it is. And I don't. The last thing I would want is for the channel to like die even. It's a joke that the channel's dead. To
No.
die
But
even
I
more.
was laughing at
because-
Colin.
What did Colin
He
say?
brought up one of those old things you said where he has 16-hour days, no sleep. So I forgot you used to say that, so thank you, Colin.
Yeah, listen, it's been a grind, but again, I've been working very hard at the, 9 to 5 job for a couple years now, making videos, streaming. You guys have been incredibly, incredibly generous, whether it's Patreon, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch. I don't know why I said Twitter. I've never made any money from Twitter. But
If you had been not telling me this whole time you've been monetizing your tweets, I'd be like, what the
No,
hell,
no,
man?
no.
You should be putting out more
yeah,
stuff.
no, I am not verified on X, but I will never be. But no, I appreciate it so much, and I've now gotten to the point where I'm able to make this leap. It's going to be a lot of fun. There's going to be a lot more content. Hopefully, it's more stuff for people like Free
I'm
Weep
excited
to
for it.
enjoy. Thank you, man. And
That's why we all try to help out here at the podcast, or I try to help out with
Nick
streams.
T,
Or
Dredge and Cal, I can't
try
thank
to help
you guys
out
enough.
whenever I can. We all do, and you're gonna do great stuff. You already have done great stuff, and I'm excited for that future. That's why I am a little nervous for Jump Festival, because like I do want new things.
Thank you.
So like you can do the nostalgic plus the new. Like
Yeah.
I just get nervous of you just had to focus all on nostalgic stuff that's already been done. I'm like,
tough.
it's possible, but man, that is a lot tougher.
It'd be very tough if Jump Fest worst case scenario comes and goes, and we know at this point Go Rush is ending in March of 25, which we're expecting, and there's no new anime announcement. I am that's going to be a very tough pill for me to swallow.
Yeah, that's going to be tough.
It's going to be very, and you know what? I think it's going to be tough for probably a lot of people watching as well, because I think the one constant in a life and a world that is quickly changing, and a lot of it is scary and not fun.
It certainly is.
I think the one constant for a lot of people, and probably for most people watching, is Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah, because it's literally every week. It's not like other TV shows where it's like here's a fall and a summer break.
Right.
It's like it's almost all the time.
Every freaking week, man. And I do love it. And like, well, I'm not opposed to like them going to more seasonal, where maybe it's 26 episodes a year, and I think that would be fine, honestly. Because I think the quality would be like crazy good. Insane. You'd hope, at least. But we'll see. I'm excited. But Fui Weep, thank you so much for the donation. Continue to lurk. Continue to hopefully enjoy, and just know that even if you don't comment, we know you're watching. We appreciate you, and that goes for anybody that lurks or watches. And I see the emotes that were used as well, the two smiley emotes and the is that a prayer or is it two people clapping?
I think it's prayer.
Okay, because I've heard...
Because the clap one has like a specific thing where it shows like the sound effect of the clap going out. This is more just praying.
It was one of those tweets a few years ago where it was like, man, I always thought this emote was pray, but someone told me it's two people clapping, and I've never been able to get it out of my head.
I don't think it ever was supposed to be that.
I think that was just a viral tweet that was
more than
misinformation.
There is so much misinformation on Twitter that I look at things all the time and I go, fake, off.
Yeah,
I know it is. And I click not interested.
So bad, dude.
Hate it.
Such a bad site. But yeah, as many sites are. But yeah, dude. Thank you so much, Fui Weep. Seriously, I don't even remember what we were talking about, to be honest with you.
I couldn't even tell you for the life of me.
Fui Weep, you broke our my concentration, but that's all right, my friend. Thank you so much. Seriously, thank you.
You have some donations over there that are, some are link and some are ones that I didn't get to that were super chat. So if you want to just catch up on the rest of those before we continue.
Yeah, let's go through some donations. I think it's a good time to do that. Let me go. I've got to go to the
you gotta go
super chats page. I gotta go. The stream is over.
Imagine we just ended it right there. Like just like the most unceremonious, like we ended like The Sopranos and it's over.
Holy crap, dude. Sean Gilbride, thank you for the $5 super chat.
Thank you, Sean.
My Iowa State Cyclones are on a roll this year. 5-0 for the first time since 1980 and ranked number 11, Cyclone Nation. You're way more into college than I am. I know you're not a diehard college, but you follow it.
Yeah.
Anything you know about Iowa State?
Yeah, they played well this year. I don't know how far they'll go come college football playoff time, if they even get in.
It's top 8, right?
It's top 12.
Oh, wow.
So,
they really expanded
they expanded it, which I think will be a lot of fun. But hey, I'm rooting for you. I was just excited. I had a big smile on my face last night watching Alabama go down.
And Florida.
And Florida had the win against UCF, but watching Alabama lose, given just coming off of their big win against Georgia and then coming back and losing to Vanderbilt, which once upon a time when Nick Saban was the head coach there, said that, the easiest place in the SEC to play is Vanderbilt. And they proceeded to not only beat Alabama, even though he's not the coach anymore, but then they ripped down the field goal post, which is kind of a typical thing in college in these big upsets, carried it down the street and threw it in the river. So that was the game in Vanderbilt last night. A lot of fun.
I mean, I don't think people in like outside of the United States
they can't
don't know
understand
how
it.
rabid college football is.
I mean, you get a bunch of drunk frat boys together, anything can happen. Jeez. Anything can happen.
I didn't know that. I knew they were carrying the flagpoles.
Threw it right in the river.
I did not know they threw it.
Yeah, there's all the videos are on Twitter if you want to check it out.
That's an Ivy League school, isn't it, Vanderbilt?
No.
Oh, it's not. Okay.
But still a pretty well-off school. And, I mean, it's not the first school to do that, and they continue the trend.
Holy crap, dude. Sean, good luck to your Iowa State Cyclones. I don't have a dog in the fight, as they'd say in college football, so I'll be rooting for Iowa State for you, man. Ice Aiden, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hello, Yugi Bros. Yugi becoming Otis was predictable, but being predictable isn't always bad since it was still cool to see. Yeet. Yeah, it was. Did you have Ice Aiden on there?
I didn't, but now I'm putting.
The other one I have is Electric Kevin. Do you have his on there?
I don't have his donation, but I have his name.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, Ice Aiden, I'm in full agreement with you, my friend. I think it was definitely like predictable, but that being said, I think it was like probably the best thing to do. I think it was probably better than Yuumu just being successful at it, because now you have this whole questionable character dynamic with her, and how is she going to be able to move forward with all that guilt?
Yeah.
And UDS would have felt weird if UDS.
It would have felt so strange.
Yeah, it would have felt
His
weird.
acting, though, was fun.
It was
that
fun.
That was a good time.
Also, like, you wonder if UDS could even become Otis because of being a Valkyrian. I don't know.
I also thought about the Quaidual element, right?
Correct.
Because he was wondering, like, oh, am I going to lose my memories too? But I'm like, some part of me thinks you wouldn't, And like that part of a completely like Udis's brain, completely just an empty cavern. His memories are gone, and just Quaidual lurking.
The funny thing
that's
too,
dangerous.
I don't know if you would agree with me or disagree with me. I saw a comment that I don't agree with.
Okay.
Where somebody said that they couldn't imagine Quaidual going along with becoming Otis within Udius, because Quaidual would feel like it would just be like a stupid fate to have. But in my opinion, Quaidual, who is this master like orchestrator and manipulator, that's what Otis was in Sevens.
Yeah, I think he would,
I feel like
he would love it.
I feel like Quaidual would love it.
Yeah, I think he would love it.
More than
They
Udius.
even had that little funny scene at the beginning where he's just like, they're talking about, whether, you're going to become Udius. I kind of figured you were going to do this. And then he hugs him, and, he was calling him master or whatever. He goes, it doesn't feel right. I don't think my master would have said that. And like, there's that little moment that I really enjoyed between the two of them.
Yeah. And you wonder if the creator is still dormant within Quaidual, right?
I wonder that, or is he out there? Or, I wonder a lot of things, man.
No, me too. Quaidual is fascinating. Thank you, guys, Hayden. Nicholas Horton at Justice for Rebecca Edge Runners.
Of course. He's got to get it every time, man. He's got to get it every time.
Ready to go.
I think also that mic is a tiny bit high. You see how it keeps peaking like that? And it goes really red?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if you want to lower that a tiny bit.
Talk normally.
Yeah, I'm talking normally now, but see how it jumps like that?
Yeah. Which one are you?
I don't know which one this is.
Keep talking. Hey, how's it going today? That's you.
Yeah, that's low right there. There we go. I think that's a lot better. I'll just try not to.
You're right.
I'll try not to peak up.
No, it's fine. I think if it goes in a little red, it's fine. Yeah. So I got to move this more back. There we go. Now you can see her. Rebecca at Justice for Rebecca. Nicholas Horton, thank you for being a channel member. 50 freaking months this guy's been a channel member.
God, man.
Hi, the cast for the Go Rush dub was kind of revealed. It was Michelle Yin playing Yuumu. I do not remember who was playing Yuhi, and I do not remember who was playing Udius. Some of the side characters revealed as well. I think Michael Licio Jr., who voiced the U-Boys, Zark, and I, is playing Kawhi Tell. Might be wrong about that. He's playing one of those random NPCs. The walkable NPCs that they chose, I don't know if you saw this, was Kawhi Tell, Chupataro, Sky Fisher, interesting because that's an Arc 2 character.
And Mitsuko, right?
No, well, Mitsuko got leaked, but she's not in the game yet, so that's interesting. The other NPC, I can't remember. There is another one I can't remember.
Kawhi. You played the world on me.
Yeah, I know. I know because I know there's 4. I just can't remember who it is, but. Yeah, Nicholas Horton, thank you.
Was it Menjiburo?
Menjiburo, yeah. You know what?
Thank you, chat.
Thank you, chat, and I'm not mad at myself for forgetting that.
No,
one.
not at all.
Because he's been like
that's a character you could have lost my memory of that character. Wouldn't even change my life remotely.
Dude, is it bad that every time they were going through like all the memory loss like rewinds, every time they got to the second arc, I was like, it might be worth it to forget that one.
You're a hater of the Ruby.
I don't like the arc. I don't like it. It's got some cool moments, but
I'm in the minority.
Overall, I think it's a weak one.
Yeah. Yeah, I even just to see that moment between Udis and Phaser when they were going off, I was like, oh yeah, that was cool until it wasn't.
That arc was great until it wasn't. Yes, I agree with you there. Tyler DeBoer, thank you for being a channel member for 12 months. 1 year for Tyler. Appreciate you, my friend. Saddest arc finale. Crazy that both the best friend and main girl of the show have become main villains. Also, how was Mitsuko not in Yuhi's memories? Tyler, obviously, as I call him, the Mitsuko man, always wondering about the Mitsuko representation or the lack thereof. Yes, we did not see them. Tyler, I'm sorry. No Mitsuko for you in Yuhi's memories, but I will say the cool thing is if you in Duel Links hit the UTS sign, usually every page of the 4 areas of the world, if you click them somewhere, something fun will happen. If you click the UTS sign, it turns into the Flatwoods monster.
That's cool.
And then the UTS billboard comes back. So she's always there. You can
always
see her
lurking.
in Duel Links whenever you want, and that's kind of cool. It's got to be. I'm sure Tyler would be like, yeah, it's kind of cool. I'd rather have her as a playable character, but
Her and Dunk over there.
her and big sister basketball. We saw her, didn't we?
Yeah, we saw both of them in 125. What an episode.
Well,
and they were also selling. They were also selling. What was it? The curry, at an exorbiant price.
Yeah.
And I was just like,
capitalism.
Are we kidding me
Well,
right now?
it was Goha taking over everything. Yeah, it's really bad. That's funny actually. Gamesy Jake, thank you for being a channel member for 10 months. I have something crazy to share during Jump Festa. Gamesy Jake, we look forward to it. I guess
that makes me nervous.
Share it in the chat or via a link, but I'll tell you what, man. Jump Fest is going to be nuts.
He takes off what we thought was Gamesy Jake's face, and it's just Otis. That's his big reveal. He's been Otis the whole time.
That would be a reveal, or he just sends us a link and we click it while we're live, and it's a page for a new Yu-Gi-Oh movie that he found that has not been made.
See, I'm thinking more of the troll stuff. You're thinking more of actual things.
I'm thinking of stuff that I would like to happen.
I'm thinking
it's probably going to be
he
the troll
spent
stuff.
the time video editing all of Never Gonna Give You Up, but he replaced Rick Astley with Otis. And you click on that link, and that's exactly what happens.
Yeah, that would be miserable. He does. I mean, I know he was working on a Sunshine mod. He knows how to mod some things, so we'll see.
I think you should be nervous.
Maybe he releases a mod of one of the old Yu-Gi-Oh games. That'd be cool.
That would
something
be fun.
big.
Yeah,
something big. Gamesy Jake, appreciate you, my friend. Thank you so much. Electric Kevin, thank you for the $5 Australian super chat. Wonder where Zion went off to. He was absent this entire arc. Also, first bridge arc finale duel besides Yuga versus Luke round 4, where the duel was not 5+ turns. Interesting fun fact there. I'm actually. Oh no, I'm not. For some reason, Yuga versus Luke round 4, I thought of the end of season 1, but that was round 2.
Yeah.
And I was like, that was not less than 5 turns. That makes sense though, because that one was in the middle of the Otis Yuga duel. So it makes sense for that one to end quickly. This one had so much story behind it.
So much.
That they had to fit it into 2 episodes.
And the turns were decently long.
They were long. And there was the whole other subplot of Manabu and that group trying to actually, what do you think of that? Phaser destroying the duel robot.
I mean,
but the duel continued.
I want to see the implications of why that happened, because they directly said, isn't it supposed to shut off? And it didn't. Why didn't that happen? Is this the steps of why Rush we eliminate Rush from the timeline now and have it appear later? Maybe that's a way to kind of fix that point that Yuga kind of created. I do want to say I sometimes feel like I'm a shout out guy on this podcast. I'm going to do a rare one.
Love it.
One that you wouldn't expect me to do.
I like you shouting people out.
I'm going to give a shout out to Manabu in this little stretch here.
I wish I had the soundboard set up.
I think he was really well done. Yeah. I appreciated and liked his leadership.
He's gotten much better.
His conversation with Asuka that he had there of listen, basically the conversation was, hey, you messed up. You made the helmet. You kind of seemed like you wanted to be Otis as well. How are we going to rectify this?
Right.
How are we going to fix
He was like, you know what? You screwed up, but I'm not mad at you. How do we fix this from that? And that's a very mature thing to do.
And the leadership that he had, he was also part of the other 3 in Epoch and Neanderstar of forming Udius's deck to go up against Yumu. I really like what they did with him here.
He's great.
He was proactive when they went in there. He was the guy that was looking for Monster Reborn in there and was leading all of them. If they keep up with that for the next 2 arcs till the end of the show, I would really love to see that. Yeah, so I want to give him a shout out.
He's had a good turnaround. I'm sure he appreciates that shout out. We have I think rightfully ribbed on him on this show.
I've definitely ribbed on him.
We've got a soundboard alert. Is there a growing anti-Manabu movement in America? So I'm sure he will appreciate that shout out. But yeah, Manabu, he's starting. Those leadership traits are more in line with what Gakuto would have done in a lot of those situations. And I think we're probably going to start to see more of that with him, which I think is really, really cool. So love the shout out there, man. Sora, solid snack. Thank you for the $2 donation. Love the arc finale. So crazy and surprisingly very sad ending to the end of the episode, to the end of the arc. Hopefully they can really sort this out with the rest of the arcs we have left. Hope we can talk soon, Dill. Well, this is going to be crazy for me to say, but we are entering the penultimate arc. I said that in the review, and because that was late Thursday, right? Because I finished that watch along, did that review, edited it. I did get to bed by like 2, but I said that like I'm sitting over there 1 a.m. and I'm like, we're entering the penultimate arc next week, and I paused.
And went, did I say that right?
Jesus Christ, man! Unless you're one of those crazy people that believe Go Rush is getting a 4th season.
Would that piss you off?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it would.
Even though it means more Yugioh content? That's the duality of it, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
If it's nothing or season 4, you have to take season 4.
I guess it's not the worst thing in the world.
Certainly not.
But I think 3, I like just seeing a changing of the guard. A changing of the cast.
I'm like, God, what else can you do with this story?
Yeah, I know. Well, you know what? I mean, yeah, I don't know.
If I got to watch one more episode of somebody shopping for clothes, that might cause me to drop the show.
It's better than the baby episode.
That baby episode's tough, man. I don't think I'll ever rewatch that episode again.
Elaine said to me, she said, this is my hot take, worst Yu-Gi-Oh episode ever made. And I said, I was like, you know what? I don't know if it's a hot take.
I mean, it's up there, but has she seen GX season 1? Because there's a lot of bad episodes.
That's crazy.
There's a lot.
That is crazy. We do sling some shots at GX. That's a crazy thing to say.
Listen, I'm out here. Sorry, future
Navy. Oh my God, that is a crazy thing to say.
Dredge, I'm talking about. He went through GX season 1. He knows what it's like.
Come on, man.
There was an episode where there was a guy that was high. That was what the episode was.
There was an episode where there was a guy who used to be a student that basically became Tarzan and would steal sandwiches.
Or the one where the teacher was like possessed and they're fighting in the power plant area. I'm like, what
Jinzo.
What are we doing? What is happening?
Or were they like, that's the episode where they have the Ouija board and they summon Jinzo.
I mean, or we joke on it a lot. The tennis guy episode is pointless.
Well, that tells a cautionary tale though
for Caliber's life.
Because we know what happens to him at the end of the episode.
Hey man, shout out to Cal, man.
Laugh. It's very sad. Yeah, shout out to
it is. He didn't have to go out like that.
No. I mean, we saw a lot of Fonda though in that first season.
I mean, you certainly were looking at Fonda.
I think we all, if she was on screen, we all were. She was a character.
I was respectfully looking.
I was too. Of course I was.
I don't know if you were.
No, I was very.
You were definitely.
No, I was looking, but I was very respectful. Very respectful.
I know, chat. What do you think on that one?
Dark Emperor J, thank you for the $2 donation. I had a hypothesis. Do you think the reason why Rush Duel never came to the TCG is because Konami Japan wanted to see if it would be successful in Japan first? Maybe. They also said that when Duel Links was released in when Rush was released in Duel Links, they were going to monitor how well Rush did in Duel Links and then decide what the next steps for it would be. They did say that before Seven's World came. It's been over a year. We've heard no updates on that. I think that's definitely possible, Dark Emperor J. I don't know the decision-making that like obviously goes on over there. Right. I think it's very weird that they are seemingly still reluctant to bring it to a worldwide audience. But
you could only potentially gain more fans.
And they have no problem dubbing the show.
Right.
You would think that there's no point to have a dub because why put it in a language where you can't play this game?
Yeah, you already have it.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
It's weird. It's weird.
Actually, you know what we should do? We should send our senior correspondent, Nicholas Calabro. He's going to Japan. Let's send him over there for some answers.
And I hope I hope you know that I really would do this. I don't have any plans to go to Japan. I don't think I will ever. Yeah, I don't think I ever will go to Japan.
We know one person that just came back from Japan, one person going to Japan.
Yes. If I was ever in Japan, I would go to Studio Gallop. And I would.
I don't know if you would get in.
Well, but I'd go.
I mean, you definitely go.
I'd knock on the door.
And then security would look at you sideways.
You think
and
they have
escort you out.
security? I've looked at that building. It's they
would-
probably have a front desk person.
I would imagine they probably have.
If
someone
I
else screening.
came with a translator and I showed him
Where are
my,
you getting the translator from?
I would. I'm sure you could hire a translator there.
Where would you even look for them? You don't speak the language.
I'm sure if I typed in right now, translators for your
So you're going to
vacation
go to
in Japan.
this hypothetical office that has translators for hire.
Yes.
You're going to get a translator.
Yes, correct.
You're going to walk into Gallup, and then what are you going to do next?
I'm going to say, like, hello, my name is Dylan. I am a huge fan of your work, especially when it comes to Yu-Gi-Oh! I would love the potential opportunity to either interview someone here at this location who maybe worked on Yu-Gi-Oh! Or maybe get a tour if that's something that you're interested in. My name is Yu-Gi-Oh! Everything on YouTube. I can show you my channel. I show them my channel.
Right. I don't think it's going to do anything, man.
What do you think would happen?
I think they would be respectful.
Yes.
And
keep in mind, I'm a very respectful
would
person.
probably thank you for
Yes.
being a fan. I think they would give you a company line of, there's no one available at this time. We appreciate that. Maybe something in the future, and it'd just be a way to get you out of the building.
What if then I said, well, I just came from Studio Bridge, and they
that would do anything?
they gave me a full tour.
And boy,
I just got lunch with the president of
and not only it was a wonderful experience, but I got some secrets to share if you're willing to show me a tour here at Gallup.
Dude, could you imagine? Could you also imagine if I went to like Nihon Ad Systems? That might be dangerous.
Now, here's the thing: if we go to Neon, because I'm backing you up, we go to Neon.
Okay.
We go to Neon Ad Systems. 'Cause they've attacked my channel as well.
That's right.
That's not going to be a pleasant conversation. I'm just letting you know right now. There's going to be
talk 'em.
I don't know about that. Maybe you sweet talk them, and I'm disabling their servers in the background.
Oh,
or something.
jeez, okay.
Like we're ruining that company.
Okay,
They're done.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
If that's the end
Down here
goal.
making false claims all the time.
Yeah, they're tricky. Yeah, they're tricky.
Yeah.
They're tricky.
And then you have the other one going around now too, whatever that third-party music company that's been hitting videos.
Yeah.
Hit one of your old Yugioh videos on my channel
I don't even
last
know
week.
what company that is. But
I feel like they know no one's going to fight them, so all these companies, they just claim things for the hell of it.
well, they do. They know
valid.
people are scared to put in the counterclaims, and that's
Oh, man. We might have to organize a trip, man.
Well, the only way I would go there is if I had a setup interview with like Shin Yoshida.
I think if you wanted to lay the groundwork of that, you might have to go to Japan once or twice before that.
You don't think if I emailed him?
No. Not even a prayer. Like, not even a remote prayer.
Not even a really?
Not even a remote prayer. You know how big of a person he is? Do you know how much responsibility he probably has? You know how many emails he probably gets a day?
What if I emailed like his secretary?
It's the same thing. You know how many emails they're looking at? That's on top of...
But you know what? Interview
It's
request.
a secured,
Here's
probably
the
corporate
subject of
server.
the email. Interview request with the great Shin Yoshida. Are you looking at that?
I'm going to be honest with you. That sounds like a scam. that sounds like if he clicks on that, all the servers are getting a virus. That's what that sounds like.
Oh, boy. Well, anyway, that's the only way I'd go to Japan. So,
I think it is more likely...
Sit down interview, man.
I think it would be more likely to do that as the channel grows,
Yes.
and maybe you can get noticed a little more.
Yeah.
Maybe a dub voice actor. Maybe you get in contact one day with a sub voice actor. That connection is more probable than you sending an email like that.
Carly's voice actors from 5Ds. We can finally get to the bottom of whatever happened.
I think
cult
that
stuff.
would be a super sensitive subject. Is probably not the place you want to go in with Shin Yoshida. Probably not where you
No,
want
I
to
reached
start.
out to her. I reached out to the
I
voice
think that
actor.
would, first of all, that would be an incredibly sensitive and probably deeply disturbing emotional thing.
It gives her a chance to just kind of like talk about what happened. I think it would be fascinating. People would love that.
She would not be at liberty to say what happened to
Oh,
her.
you think there were some NDAs?
No, I think psychologically she probably has a lot of demons from that.
I don't know.
And we also don't even know the status of what she's doing right now.
Yeah, I don't know.
She might have receded from public life and doesn't want any of this anymore. Not to mention a sit-down interview with some guy from New Jersey. This guy, man.
I don't know. I think that there are people that would be more open to it than you think.
I think yes. I don't think her. I think that she's 100% not happening.
Maybe not. Maybe not.
not happening. But like, could you one day maybe?
Well, the thing is, though, there
get
are. Well,
here's
the element of her,
sub
though.
voice actor. Maybe
Here's the thing when it comes to that voice actress, though, in particular, there are a lot of rumors. There's people that are like that will say all of that wasn't even true, and that there was no cult involvement or anything. So like that's the other element of it. Like I'm sitting here where I'm not like 100% sure that there was even like a cult involvement.
I mean, there's a lot of things in life that we're not 100% sure on,
Right.
historical events or otherwise.
Right.
You're just never going to get answers to those things.
What happened to the Roanoke colony?
I mean,
Right?
yeah.
That was a good pull,
I'm
right?
actually shocked you pulled that, to be totally
man,
honest.
come on.
I'm actually pretty shocked by that. There's just things you're not going to know. This is going to be one of them, man.
All right.
I think it is more likely if you did a series to do an investigative multi-part series breaking down the last year or so of Gallup. I think that could be a really fun one.
That would be fun.
I think that one, you can get people to talk to you.
Well, I know there's disgruntled people that
It would be a
no
lot of
longer
people
work
off
at
the
Gallup.
record.
Yeah.
But you could get people to
Yeah.
talk to.
Yeah. No, that's interesting. The hardest part about that, I don't think it's my personality or anything. It's the language barrier. That's the hardest part.
But if you're hiring a translator, you're going to be fine.
True. Yeah. Fascinating stuff, man. Crystal Colden, thank you for the $8.88 donation. Thank you for the Go Rush donation, Crystal. 125, was that a date? It was totally a date. 126, why is Yui so scared? I want to give him a big tub. 127, I live. Also, shockingly, Gravity Falls did that better overall. I'm looking forward to Arc 11. You Heights for the win. Now, Crystal Colden is someone who has always looked forward to a potential evil Yuhi. Crystal Colden basically had that happen here in this episode.
I mean, definitely did.
Definitely had it happen here. So really cool. I can't comment on the Gravity Falls comparison because unfortunately I have not seen Gravity Falls.
Gravity Falls either.
I've heard very good things.
I have, yes.
But yeah, no, it was a very cool. I guess in that show there was some sister brother dynamic where something doesn't go well for one of them.
Isn't that the case in most shows?
Yeah. Crystal also went on to say with a $2.10 donation, thank you, Crystal, if I had a nickel for every time a dark magic has a drug/obsession metaphor, I would have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird it's happened twice, right? The shows that used it, The Dragon Prince and Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush. Yeah, how funny is that, man? And again, I make that drug comparison because I feel that the dark liquid kind of manipulated Yuumu's thoughts a little bit. It kind of got her addicted to that feeling of not feeling any anxiety, reversing negative effects, which is something that you see a lot with drugs. And I mean, man, I got to tell you, these are apparently, though, bad for you to take. But when I was on steroids when I was fighting off COVID, and it was like the best I felt in like
Steroids
my
are
life.
great.
Steroids are great.
They really are great for a time.
I asked my brother, I was like, is there any way I could just be on those? And he was like, you'd probably die in a month. They're very, very bad for you. But I remember, man, the one thing I loved about steroids, they put you so... No, really. They put you so... And these are steroids that were medically prescribed to help me beat COVID.
Yes.
I should say that.
Steroids are wild.
They're not anabolic.
When you take that stuff.
Yes. Well, so I took them, and it's hard to sleep when you take them.
I mean, you're energized constantly.
So me and my dad were both on them. I was, because our whole family had COVID. I was up at 5 a.m. and me and my dad couldn't sleep. We were like, let's just make some pancakes. So we're making some blueberry pancakes at 5 in the morning, and my mom wakes up at 6 a.m. And I remember
she's an early riser.
Yeah, well, she's an early riser, and she was sick. And I remember eating the blueberry pancakes, and I started like tearing up. I started getting emotional because
they were so good.
They were so good.
Yeah.
I mean,
I knew you were going to say
like,
that.
but that's the one thing. It makes you so in tune with your emotions, and so like I'm tearing up, while I'm eating the blueberry pancakes, and I finish, and then I go upstairs, and I remember like doing like a video at like 8 a.m. and then I passed out at like 10 a.m. But yeah, man, like all that to say, I get it. You know,
I
get it.
I've had some experiences before with some things that can be addictive.
Yeah,
and it is a hard.
I do get it.
It is a hard thing to quit, but I don't know if I would necessarily attribute all of this to she was addicted to it. I think it gave her the idea of something she was already feeling and thinking of where to go with this, and combined it with Monster Reborn. So I'm not 100% attributing it to like, she was lost in the sauce. I'm like, I think it gave her an avenue to something that she was already feeling.
Yeah, I like that. I like that perspective of it as well. Crystal, thank you so much. Pink Penguin, thank you for the $2 donation. I'm here enjoying Go Rush World and Duel Links. Already maxed out Yuumu, or I guess Yua maxed her out. That was good. I guessed Yuumu cosplay is coming along. Actually, yeah, it looks incredible. Pink Penguin doing a Yuumu cosplay. I'll show you some pics. Yeah,
that I can 100% picture.
No, yeah. Oh, yeah. I feel like she fits the character very well.
There's
looks-wise.
a weird. She has like Yuumu aura.
Yes,
it's very strange.
100%.
And not in a bad way.
No,
it's
in
just,
a good way. Yeah.
I don't know. For some reason, she just fits that character.
It's a very good character for her to cosplay. It's very on brand for her, for sure. So, Pink Penguin, I'm very excited. Just need to paint the wig. Just need the wig to paint the socks and paint the glasses, and I'll fully be best girl Yuumu. Yes. It's going to be really, really cool. And, of course, you've got to do the Duel Links stream, cosplayed as Yuumu, dueling as Yuumu in PvP.
Now, I have an important question.
And thank you, Pink.
Will there be a channel redeem to turn you into the Dark Meister? Because if there is, I'm 100% on board. 100% on board.
I mean, that's a totally different
That's all right.
cosplay.
Well, I'll give her time to make it. Be all right.
That'd be tough. I guess you'd have to make a mask that like darkens out your face.
Yeah.
Right, because you don't see the Dark Meister's face. Just
Listen, there's a lot of cosplayer people out there that are creative and talented. They'll figure out a way.
Yeah, that'd be tough. Pink Penguin, that's funny. Thank you so much. Elaine, thank you for the 100 bits on Twitch. Ever since Opening 3 came out, there was a shot where Yugioh is alone in a field of flowers. Ever since then, I've been worried Yugioh won't get a happy ending. Now that I'm seeing the ending song, it makes me more worried for Yugioh that he won't get a happy ending. We're going to be reacting to that. That's very interesting. What are your thoughts on that? Yugioh, I mean, I'll be honest, like, you could argue that the last two protagonists, the last two shows that we as Yu-Gi-Oh fans have seen did not have happy endings. They haven't had happy endings.
Yeah.
You know, it used to be like, oh, the Yu-Gi-Oh protagonist always
everything
has
will
a
be fine.
happy ending. Yugi, Jaden, Yusei, Yuma, even Yuya. Even though some of the other characters maybe didn't in Arc 5, but
they're dead.
Yusaku, certainly not. And I would not call his ending a happy ending.
No, not at all.
And Yuga, I would not call his ending a happy ending either.
No, not either.
So we've had back-to-back shows where you could make the case that their characters, the main characters, did not have happy endings. I mean, what are your thoughts on it?
I could definitely see him not having a great ending.
Yeah.
And not in a way of like it's bad for the viewer, more emotional that he sacrifices himself or, he has to die to preserve some timeline.
Jeez, that'd be
some
tough.
Crap like that. The rest of the Valkyrians are already dead. Him and Yugioh now have to meet their fate as well. I could see something like that happening.
That'd be tough, man. I don't want to see that.
Thinking of opening, I don't want to see that either. I mean, this episode was a gut punch too.
Yeah.
What I will say is, sometimes these opening endings can be lies.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they can be true. There was distinct scenes of kind of Yuumu falling and like her and Yuhi kind of trying to catch each other in the opening, I believe it was. Maybe it was the ending. We've seen basically that exact scene here in 127, right?
Yeah.
Like as Yuhi is fading away as himself and losing his memories, and Yuumu is kind of in this, I guess dark, void that they're in, kind of simulating where they came from in the dark matter universe, chasing after him, not being able to catch up with him. That was kind of a precursor to what we've seen happen. So I like sometimes when things do happen from the opening and endings, and you're like, man, there it was right there. You don't have to exactly tell me what happens, but giving me a little hint of the direction, I like that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, well, now I'm more worried to react to the ending. We'll be doing that. Video should be out tomorrow. It'll definitely be out tomorrow for you guys. Shark Messiah, thank you for the double $2 donations. Thank you so much, Shark. Hope you've been well. Hey, guys, been a while, but these episodes have been crazy. Do you think Yui will stay as Otis, or will someone else take the mantle for him? I personally don't think Yui will stay as Otis, and that he is faking his memory loss, but could be changed. And then something that still bothered me is one big mystery from the 7's ending where the Luke man shows up to Yugioh in the Goa space station, one of your favorite scenes.
It's a favorite meme. I love that.
Yeah,
meme.
where he's just right behind Yugioh. The same place Yugioh was falling to.
Yeah.
Yugioh is getting support, so that could be possible. Also, go Vikings. Sorry, Dylan. LOL.
That was a stinger, right?
You know what?
That was
very unnecessary.
I mean, very unnecessary.
Right.
It feels like, especially the day of, we're doing it on Sunday, really rubbing it in.
And I also gave the opening monologue where I talked about the duality of my two loves,
and also talked
sports
about
and
gave
Yu-Gi-Oh.
a shout out to the community saying what lovely people they are, right in there.
I'll never know true sports happiness with the
Listen,
Jets.
hold on.
The Mets give me more hope.
Hold on. The Mets still have hope.
I just said the Mets give me more hope.
We still have hope.
Yes, correct.
We could know happiness, okay?
Yeah, we were there in 2015.
Listen, I want to let you know. We get to the NLCS, if we get there, me, you, Dredge, Brian, maybe having a nice beer on a cold night.
We'll be going. Well, I got to tell you, Dredge has to be feeling, I mean, obviously he's in pain because he's a Mets fan as well, but he's got to be feeling pretty good. I mean, the Giants looked very good today.
Dude, let's go.
And I've always been saying with the Giants, like, Daniel Jones has not looked bad this year.
He really hasn't.
And
they did that without Neighbors.
Yeah,
he didn't play.
yeah, and Singletary. And you could have him for another 2 years. They have him locked up if they want him.
I guess. I mean, I don't know how far they can go with him, but it has to give you confidence that if they got another rookie QB, pretty good nucleus.
Yeah.
Pretty solid.
Very exciting. So I'm sure he's feeling good about that. But Shark, yeah, the Luke Man Yugioh stuff, I don't know. I don't know. The Yugioh getting support, I don't know if there's going to be any connection here.
I don't think there will be.
As for the Yuhi, if he's going to stay as Otis, I don't think we believe he will. I don't think he's faking the memory loss, though, but I don't think he's going to stay as Otis. I mean, I don't know if you disagree with me there, but...
He's not going to be Otis. I said that at the top.
Who will be Otis?
God, I mean, that's the question, isn't it?
I'm going to count to 3, and then we'll say it at the same time.
Oh, dude, I don't even know.
It's tough.
I don't even know who I would pick.
Tell me when you have a name in mind.
I don't know if I do, honestly.
Because somebody asked me this question yesterday at the museum.
I have to pick a character?
Pick a character.
That is from our current group.
Absolutely. Or just from the world.
All right.
1, 2, 3.
Yugioh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna.
I think he will come back and be Otis.
I agree with you.
I do think he will.
I agree with you. He's gonna.
I think it's kind of his destiny.
Yeah.
To do that. And save all his ancestors. I mean, he kind of effed all of this up. Let's be real.
Sure.
This is all his fault.
I would agree with that.
He even created the Otis program. I mean, everything is his fault.
Yeah. And then he named one of his programs after Otis.
Crazy.
That's a crazy thing to do.
Crazy.
Let me name...
I'm sorry. I'm never naming anything after my moron to me.
No.
You've never seen me name anything Phillies. That's never happened.
No.
Okay?
No. I'm not going to, create a new, invention and name it Dela Cruz. We're
I was hoping you would stay away from it. You steered right into the accent.
We're not doing that, man.
How do you think they're doing?
Both of them, man. I think one is in New York. I think one is in New Jersey. It's about all I know.
You think that the first one is just posting a bunch of random
I think he
Instagram
got
photos?
into NFTs.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
That makes sense.
Yes. Makes me feel a lot better about, everything that happened.
Listen.
It was an NFT, bro.
You're doing well.
Oh, no, I am. I'm very happy. It's just, it's funny to think about. But anyway, point in case, I would not do that.
Thank you for
It's crazy.
no.
I thought about getting them on the podcast. What do you think about that?
Dude, let me tell you,
Could you
I would
imagine?
be front and center for that podcast if you somehow pulled that off.
Could you imagine if I got them
my
on
God.
and
my God, this is what we do.
Okay.
2 specials next year. One, they're both on it, just the 2 of them and you. The other one, the Exes podcast. Dude, let's make this happen. Let's make it happen, man. I'm all for it.
to kick off
Dude.
the channel launch.
I mean, the amount of pain that would come out of those. I mean, it'd be great entertainment. Let me tell you.
I'll be completely honest with you. I think I'm pretty past the. I don't think I would be in any pain from either of those. I don't think I would be.
I mean, it'd be certainly awkward. I definitely get secondhand embarrassment. It would be tough for me.
Yeah,
Be a lot of awkwardness.
yeah. No, I mean, yeah, but I don't think
I'd do it for the content.
I don't think any of them would come on. So I don't think
I
we.
don't know. I think you underestimate that. I really do.
Maybe I do.
Hey, go Colts.
We'll have to
man.
see if what do you say?
Go Colts.
Go Colts. Oh, I love it here. Oh boy. Space Cowgirl. Thank you for the $2. She would come on. Thank you for the $2 donation. Ringing up a customer today, and the guy's daughter goes, "Yup, the Jets lost." Made me instantly think, poor Dylan. Rest in peace, my friend. Can people stop
I mean, it's
talking about the Jets?
This is getting cruel. The first thing I said to you, I came in as I said sorry.
This is why I never stream on Sundays. What
a bad Sunday, dude, for the Jets and the Mets, man.
I actually got hyped watching the Mets game with Pete Saturday. What is this guy doing to me? LOL. Oh, my God. And I don't know if she's aware what happened to the Mets tonight.
She is.
Okay.
Yeah.
So brought up the Jets.
Listen, when Vientos hit that second home run in the ninth, I hugged my dad.
Oh, yeah.
We went crazy.
Yeah, I was going nuts.
And he somehow knew they were going to lose in the bottom.
Yeah,
of it.
midnight. I was like, yeah, it's over. It's over. But wow.
Get enough out of here, man. Listen, how much more pain can I take? That's what I wonder.
It's tough enough if the Brewers or Dodgers eliminate the Mets. Please don't let it be that team, dude.
This is why I don't want the Braves to eliminate us.
I know.
And now,
I know.
if it's this team with those,
I'd rather
those people.
I'd rather the Braves though than this.
Dude.
I would, not by much, but I would. It's
there's nothing like that.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Again, I have to bite my tongue.
We talked about it before the stream.
Yep.
It's a good chance we're getting in a fight with Nick T this week. It's a good chance.
Well, if Nick T says Red October,
if he comes here with if he buys a new, because they do sell them, he comes here with a new hoodie, a
If he
Red
comes here with
October
any
hoodie,
Phillies-
he's out of the house.
No,
he's not even allowed on the podcast. We're kicking him immediately.
No,
out
if
of
he
the house.
comes here with any Phillies thing, or he says something like borderline,
It's a
like
3-on-1. We
douchey.
might be able to jump him.
Yeah, well, no, I don't. Well,
I'll do it.
And one of the three is Dredger.
I might let Dredger do it by himself.
He easily could. But no, that is where it's going to get to the point where if he does say something like that, for the next couple of weeks, I'm going to text him Wednesday and say, hey, sorry, man, we're not doing the podcast tonight. And then we will still be live, and he just won't be here. And he doesn't watch the channel. He doesn't watch the channel, so he'll never know. I mean, really, he'll never know. So that's what's going to happen. So hopefully Nick T doesn't do anything like that.
Listen,
We'll see.
Razor Shark, you're on a fine line there, my friend. One more comment
What'd
like
they
that.
say?
with
What'd
time
they
in your
say?
eye. They said Mets will be eliminated and the Jets will not make the playoffs. I mean, you're on a fine line, my friend. Just letting you know.
Aren't they got the San Jose Sharks in their profile, right?
They were looking to get timed out. That's all I'm saying. They're looking to get timed out.
I think they should worry about the Dodgers Padres. That's what I think.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Natalie, thank you for the $2 donation. Well, Dylan, if I had $1 for all the amount of times I have seen show that had drugs being used and personified by being bad, I would probably have $10.
Okay.
I mean, that's a lot of shows, I feel like.
Decent amount of shows. Feels like you're into a specific genre.
Breaking Bad.
I mean, that's an interesting poll, sure.
I think she's a big Breaking Bad fan, Natalie.
Is she?
I think so.
Great show.
Natalie also went on to donate $2 and say, also, if you need help writing a cover letter and resume, look up ChatGPT. It is amazing what it can do for your resume. Yeah, it is. It is. I don't need to worry about either of those right now, but there have been certainly times in my life where both of those elements have been very important. I hate cover letters, by the way. I think they're the stupidest,
cover
most
letters. I wrote a cover
unnecessary
letter
things.
recently, like 2 weeks ago.
Stupidest thing in the
Literally
world.
the worst thing in the
Dude,
world.
Oh, my God.
No, I'm sorry. No one's reading this. Okay, this generic letter that I'm writing, no one cares.
Well, the problem with AI creating resumes and creating cover letters, which we should be using it for, I think it's great. The problem, though,
I used AI to create my cover letter and then
perfect.
edited it.
The problem is companies are also using AI to detect phrases and words, and if you
need
don't
certain phrases for the
Correct.
bots to even
That's
send it
what I
to
mean.
a real person.
That's what I mean. It's gotta get
like,
through
how
that.
do you get around that?
You don't know what they're looking for. It is the stupidest thing in the world. The job market's really tough right now. Keep fighting, Natalie. You're going to do great, and thank you so much for the donations. Mommy Manabu, thank you for the $2 donation.
All right.
Manabu has really grown into a great leader ever since he had his terrible season 2. He's one of the best developed characters in the show. Hashtag Mommy Manabu forever.
Yeah, I'm not going to go with that hashtag, but I just gave him a shout out earlier. He really liked him in this last bit. He's had some good moments for me, and I like to see him progress by the end of the show.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. He's been very, very good. Delayed on MTA, thank you for the $2 donation. Thanks for the Sunday stream. It made my Sunday better. What a great arc finale. It was so sad and hard-hitting, almost like Bruno's in 5Ds. Do you think 2 more arcs will be well enough to wrap up the storyline nicely, or will it feel rushed?
God, I hope so.
So let me tell you, I don't think it's going to feel rushed. My concern is it's just not going to feel well executed.
Yeah, I'm nervous about that.
Here's my thing. I don't think there's a lot that this show needs to get done.
No, it's really the Otis
with
thing.
26, 27 episodes left, that should be plenty of time to wrap up the Otis route however they want. And then what else needs to happen? Maybe Yugioh comes back. You need to show us what happened at the end of 7's episode 92.
I feel like that's necessary.
Sure, but that can be done in a minute or two.
Literally could be.
Other than that, that's why I don't think it's going to be rush delayed. My fear is more on the side of, is it going to be good? That's my fear.
I'm so nervous. And I'll let you know something even worse.
Mm-hmm.
It's one thing you end the show poorly. if they roll this over to a Yugioh 9 with this Otis
No,
crap,
we can't.
I might lose my mind. I'm not doing it for a whole nother show. I'm just not doing it.
No, we can't. We can't do that. We can't. Just for reference, Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5, episode 112.
Okay.
This is about. Hang on. We have a special. Hang on. Before we bring somebody else in, give. What's that? I was not remembering.
We don't have any mics set up.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc. No, there's one on the ground you can bring up. Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5, episode 122 was Glory on the Academia, where Jack and Yuga's tag battle against Battle Beast and Sanders began. That was with
You love Battle Beast.
I love it. That was with 26 episodes left. It's about the same time frame. I bring that up because my fear there delayed was, this is going to be rushed. How are we going to fit everything, all of this stuff, into 26 episodes? And they didn't. They didn't.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, your question was answered. They didn't do it.
Yeah, they did not do it.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Wasn't great.
No. And then, what do you think? Are you worried about the rushed element? Also, before you answer that, we got him here. Come on in.
Get over here.
Come on in.
Get over here.
And he's got to be feeling great, man. Wow.
Go Giants, man. Go Giants, man.
But it's not
Taking
just
down
that.
those Seahawks.
It's not just that. He's got to be feeling, because we've talked a lot about sports on this podcast. Giants looking very good. And then, of course, the Yankees winning game 1 last night. They're not playing tonight. He doesn't have to worry about it. You got to be living really good, man.
Yeah, here,
Go for it.
I don't know what it's like.
Yeah, no, my condolences to
Thank you.
the Mets game today. It was tough.
I know he means it sincerely.
I do. I was
if
rooting
Nick
for
T
him.
says it, he's not invited.
I was rooting for him.
No, I know you were. 'Cause you know
unfortunately, the Jets too, man. I'm sorry.
Philly. Hey, there's nothing to say.
I know there's something to say. But yeah, what's going on, guys? How's what are we on right now? What are we
We're
talking
just
about?
reading through donations. Your quick thoughts, Calibro, on 127, because I know you got things to do.
So 127, it was I didn't expect it. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, like,
bit heavy hitting.
yeah, and it
Yeah.
was one of those things where, I thought I had it called right when like Yugioh stepped in. I'm like, wow, he's really gonna do this. He's gonna play the card, whatever. And then of course, Quaiduel comes back into the picture. Like, oh, yep, he's still here talking to him all the time, talking to him like they have conversations all day long.
Right.
And then Yuhi stepping in, actually, like, I knew he was gonna get involved, but I thought I didn't know he was gonna just step in and be like, yeah, it's me, I got this, and plays it. That to me was sick.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
I really liked it. I mean, I think the way they built up to it to end here was like to end this this season or this arc, like it almost felt like show ending. Like you could have ended this show with Yuhi turning into Otis, and there would be questions, right? There'd be a lot of questions.
Yeah.
But like you could end it
Can
like
you
that,
imagine
and it's
if
like
they ended it like that?
it'd
Oh
be
my God.
such a controversial ending, but it would be like, oh crap! Like his memories are gone, and the whole story was through his head, and that's how they could explain it.
Yeah.
Like they could just explain it. This was Yuhi's road all along. The whole show was his road, and then bang, memories gone, show ends.
They could have went
like
that route.
could have.
They definitely could have.
But I'm glad it's not.
No. Yeah, of course not.
I am though. I don't know how they're gonna get all this in the last like however many episodes.
Well,
we have
delayed.
left.
We just read his donation. He wanted me to know if I was worried it was going to be rushed. I said I'm not worried it's going to be rushed. I'm worried it's not going to be well executed. But you're saying you're kind of worried about the rushed element.
It's not that I'm worried. I'm just like, it's one of those things where in the back of my head I'm like, okay, so we have a couple things we need to get to.
Yeah.
Obviously, Yuga's gonna have to come back around soon. Because they didn't just write him to run off into the sunset. Like he'll be back, and I just feel like there's still a lot of questions. And what do we have? 30 episodes, 20 something,
Probably 26, 27.
Like 2 13-episode arcs.
That would be my guess. Yeah, that would be my guess.
So I don't know. I actually think I'm more comfortable at this stage in the game in terms of how many episodes until the end with this show than I was with Sevens.
Yeah.
Like that one felt more like they were more rushing to the end.
Yes.
But there's
Sevens
always
was quick because that Otis reveal happened in 90, and then it was boom, boom, boom.
There's
boom.
always a small a small worry in the back of my head because it's almost good. You have no idea where like how they're gonna do it, which is good. It's not like you're predicting everything to happen.
Yeah.
But also it's like, but what are they gonna do?
Like,
what's
what's your fear level in general for this show? Me and Pete actually gave ours 10 being the most scared, 1 being the least scared that it's going to like be good.
like that's gonna end well.
Yeah.
Like they're gonna. My fear. So like 10
Fear
being
level.
the highest
Yes.
fear. On 1 to 10, I would say 5.
So I said
Probably
5.
right
He
in the
said
middle.
6.
And that's where I'm in between 5 and 6.
Yeah.
But because I think that I think that they can do it, but I also think that with 7s, it felt only a tiny bit rushed. I'm not saying like, oh, it felt rushed. I didn't like it because I did. I really liked the show. But I feel like there is a path where they have to answer a lot of things really quickly. And it happens in a lot of shows. Like, no, like it just does. Like, they're like, oh, we still have to get this in, that in, this in, whatever. And then it all kind of just gets spewed out to you. And you're like, but that could have been its own storyline,
Right.
you know? So
Right.
if they do it with the right storylines, it'll be great. Like,
Yeah.
I think it'll end really well. I'm not like too worried, but again, it's always in the back of my head. That's why
Yeah.
I'm around 5 to 6.
Yeah, cool. All right.
Here, I'll
well,
give this to Pete.
yeah, I'm happy you liked it. Do you want to get another mic or you got things to do?
How long are you guys on here for?
Well, we've been
No
live.
clue.
We've been live for an hour and a half. There's also a new ending that we're going to react to as well after this. All right.
There he
The
is.
man is that mic should be
the
on.
man himself.
The man from Milwaukee.
You're gonna have to help me get out of my chair, probably. But that's fine.
That's fine.
Nah,
Do you want to slide down, Pete, or just kind of?
I could have him move in the middle. You
Yeah.
wanna move in the middle.
Sure?
Yeah.
Just move over. It's fine. There's chairs are right here, so I don't have to move around.
The man from Milwaukee.
Oh God.
I don't have chat in front of me. I'll pull them up on my phone. This is on, you said?
It's hot.
Hello, hello.
Yeah, it's hot. It's hot.
Hot mic. Don't say anything inappropriate.
Pride my man. Myself as a man.
That's a good one.
Castellanos, it's the ball. Oh.
You know, I don't want to think
actually,
about.
that's not
I don't
the
want to
game.
think about
That's not the game I
Castellanos
wanted to
at
do.
all. Okay.
Cal, you might have to slide down a little bit.
No, this is good.
Oh my lord.
I just don't want to unplug your charge.
No, you good.
How's that?
We got some slack.
Good.
How's that, brother?
Good. Slide down a little bit more. Trust me. You'll enjoy it.
I mean, I would be for it.
We got a very nice message earlier, Cal, from Fui Weep. Hold on, let me find it.
Free Wheezy?
Free Wheezy. Fui Weep super chatted $50.
Oh, wow.
And they wrote, "Hello, I'm more of a lurker, but I just want to say that I always have so much fun watching your podcasts, even though I don't follow Go Rush. I always enjoy everyone's commentary and theories and jokes. Thank you for everything you do." Very, very kind.
Oh, that's awesome.
Donation and very
That's
kind
so,
message,
The fact
yeah.
that you watch not following Go Rush is so cool.
That's what
I
I
think
thought.
that's awesome.
That was exactly what I thought.
and we
You know-
appreciate having every lurker, every person in the chat. Like, everyone that comes and hangs out, it makes our day that much better, too.
I'm happy we have a podcast as well that creates an environment where if you're not watching the show, it can
You can
still
still
it can
hang
still
out.
be enjoyable
Well,
and
'cause-
hang out. Yeah, yeah.
Because we're kind of like
We're goofy.
We're babbling idiots sometimes.
we're goofy.
but it's in the best way, you know.
I like to think that. Yeah, we also ran a poll. Do you watch the Go Rush anime? 13% of people out of 107 said no.
Okay.
Still
Now,
watch.
Yes. Now I don't know if that there were some troll answers there. I feel like that
Could've been.
Could have been,
Could've
but
been.
still much higher than
Okay, I want to
thought.
get. I want to give also your thoughts on.
I'm listening.
So we proposed for the kickoff of Dylan kind of going.
This is what you're getting
full.
his thoughts on.
Yeah, is that we do one podcast where Dylan mentioned we invite the De La Cruzes. It's the two of them and Dylan, and the other one we do is the X's podcast. Are you on board with this?
Can I be the MC for it?
If you want to be.
Like, I'll come in and I'll like dress up in a suit.
I would much rather him be the MC than Barrett Letty
Yeah.
for
That's
that
fair.
podcast.
So I'll be the MC, and then I can tell the Dela Cruzes that I actually play one of them in a movie.
Oh
you
no,
know,
I
so-
meant for the X's. I did not mean for the Dela
Oh,
Cruzes. The Dela Cruzes I'm not worried about. The X's yeah, I think if you
could make that work.
Actually,
I
by
could
the
make
way,
that
if I
work.
said you remember Caliber, he's hosting it. I think there's a much higher chance
yeah,
that some
they
of them
all
would
still
come.
follow you on
A
Instagram,
couple
so
of
you
them
still got a
might.
shot. You still got a shot.
It's crazy, dude. Crazy. Shark Messiah, thank you so much for the $2 donation. I'm a Vikings fan. Don't talk to me about not knowing happiness when it comes to football.
true.
LOL. No, I mean,
That
they
is
haven't
true.
had it bad.
Except for this morning.
He's been getting it already, man.
I'm sorry. I was rooting for him, man. I was rooting for the Jets.
I will have words with you, Dylan. Words. LOL. Regardless, last thing I want to point out, look at who's coming down at the end of 7s. Looks like Yugioh a bit. I've seen this brought up a few times. Comments, stream when I reacted to 127. We know this shot from
Yeah.
97's 92. Do you guys think that's Yuki? I mean, it does look like him, but
be
it could be anyone.
literally
I
be
feel
anyone.
like it could just be anyone under
could
that
be
It
suit.
could be anyone because I think even as Yuhi like became Otis right in this episode.
Yeah, sorry about
that
that, chat.
was not the spot.
That was a girl from GX.
But like the like even as Yuhi like transformed into Otis, right?
Yeah.
He looks now exactly like Otis with the facial expressions and everything
Yeah.
too. So it's almost as if anyone takes this Otis position, they become that exact figure. Like not like their
The mask
stature
really does
changes,
wonders.
the voice like changes,
Yeah.
the mask, everything.
Yeah. He won't be completely Otis until he goes, oh. I need to hear that.
It also, the mask, like, it makes a lot of sense now that Otis mask is the way that it is, that it almost has, like, this dark matter infused in it.
Yeah.
Because it just
Thank
reminds me of all the
you
Gohan masks for the
dono.
president.
Yeah.
How it kind of takes them over and eventually wears them out.
Yeah.
That's what it reminds me of, like, the way they were, like, portraying it in this episode.
I agree with that.
No, that's a really good point. We have the summaries, by the way, for 128, 129, which we will certainly show on screen, read, and analyze. 129 coming out yesterday. I actually read it to Dredger when we were at the museum for the movie. But before I do that, I think we have a couple of super chats.
We do. I'll jump back up to the top here.
Thank
Electric
you so
Kevin
much.
donated his 5 Australian and said,
Thank
both
you, Kevin.
Go Rush and Horizon's arc, God bless you,
Bless you.
just ended in the same week, and both finales were amazing. Both shows were also getting a new opening and/or ending too.
Very interesting. Yeah, it's always fun when there's like comparisons made between Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon. I feel like now, well, I always felt like the one big difference, because they're both very long-running, episodic, weekly shows, was the protagonist never changed in in Pokemon, but it always did in Yu-Gi-Oh. But now Pokemon has a new protagonist.
Yep.
So I always love hearing what's going on in that show, and I feel like Kevin is usually the one who gives updates on there. So Kevin, thank you so much for that, and thanks for pointing that out. That is that's really cool.
We got another $2 from Nick Schoner.
Nick, thank you so much, Nick.
Sorry, Dill, I don't watch football, but me being from Minnesota, let's go Vikings.
Really?
Wow.
Jesus Christ. He's from Minnesota.
Sorry,
Whatever.
man.
Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Welcome back, man.
Yep. We're here.
Hey, Minnesota. Need that too.
Oh boy, Nick, thank you, man.
Yes, and that was it for that. I think you have one more link.
Colin also had a
That was one
Earlier.
I didn't grab that you had.
no worries. Tyler DeBoer, the Mitsuko man. Thank you for the $2 super chat. Udius had Mitsuko in his memories a few times. That's right. Well, they are fellow like aliens / cryptids. Also, Mitsuko was in love with the man that he also has feelings for in Yugioh. Obviously, what those feelings are up for interpretation, whether you believe they are romantic feelings or feelings of brotherly love. You know,
Right.
that is also a
You can love someone but not be in love with them.
correct. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now that was also somebody.
Knew that was coming.
Wait, that was your. That's a really close quote to you. That is what one of our good high school friends was told at the end of a very otherwise healthy and good relationship.
Yeah.
I'm
Your sister.
I'm in love with you. I love you, but I'm not in love with you.
correct.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Correct.
now as I've gotten older, I totally can get the quote. I can.
I get it, but it
Yeah.
was definitely BS at the time.
At the time, sure, but I definitely can get it.
Yeah, I guess. I feel like that's just one of those things.
Because
though,
you
that-
could have like a care for someone, but like not think about them and want to be with them anymore.
Oh, yeah.
But you have this love for them that you're like, hey, I hope they do well.
Well, I think she was in a
Maybe you
precarious-
can't relate to that.
She was in a precarious situation where like it was my best friend, so like she had to still end it on good terms.
Yes.
And it wasn't the last time she was going to see him
Yeah.
either.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So
Another one I hate when it's over. Just
Fizzle out.
right person, wrong
Wrong
time.
time.
You hate that one.
I hate it because I just think it's complete crap.
yeah.
If it was the wrong time, then it's not the right person. Because if it was the right person and somebody you could have been with, the time thing wouldn't have mattered, in my opinion.
unless you met them while you were with somebody else.
Or unless you met them when you were really young. It's another one too. Like you're both young and you weren't ready for a mature
Yeah.
relationship.
Yeah, I
You're like
guess.
both
But
18.
but when you're both adults and say like right person, wrong time, it's much smaller of a window of where you're like, okay, that makes sense. You know what
Yeah.
I mean, like if I'm single and I was actually, say, moving to Florida, and 3 weeks before moving to Florida, I met this girl when I was out at the bar, and she was perfect and everything was great. And it was just like, well, right person, wrong time.
Yeah, but
I'm moving to Florida. She's not moving to Florida.
But also,
like,
that's still so early on. Who knows if it would have been a good person? 3 weeks is way too
I guess
young. I don't know.
It's just a hypothetical.
It is hypothetical. No,
Yeah.
it's fascinating. Dating with Dylan Dredge was hugely successful in 2020. Dating with Dill, Cal, Pete, and Dredge.
I'm in the modern dating scene, right? And it
yeah,
sucks.
You're the bachelor. You're the bachelor of the podcast.
Hey,
It's the worst thing ever.
I know how you feel, man. It does blow. But hey, you'll come around. You're a good looking, man.
Thank you. People have been telling me that lately, and I don't see it.
Hey, if you're ever, you ever still single by 40, man, we can make a deal.
All right.
I got you, bro.
All right. Wait. You know what?
Colin, thank you for the $10 super chat. Thank you so much, Colin.
Thank you, Colin.
I'm honestly shocked we got nothing for Yugioh in 127, especially now that his ancestor essentially died for him, and now that Otis has returned. Where is this damn kid?
I agree.
We are all under
this man.
We are all under the assumption, at least I was, that Yugioh was not sent back to the right timeline and that he's going to show up again in this show. What if he doesn't?
He's also like the most.
What if he doesn't?
He's the most unserious protagonist.
No,
I
he's
can think of.
unserious.
He just
Yeah.
he's just out here vibing in his shop.
He's goofy.
He just doesn't care. He's like, whatever. It don't matter.
Yeah, could you see a reality where like Yugioh doesn't come back to Go Rush?
Of course. I think it's a very risky move to do, because I think rounding out the Otis storyline kind of needs to have Yugioh in a way. Like, he has to be involved in some way, like whether it's, they're writing, they have to link like the story from Sevens, like the book from Sevens, to how this is going to end or whatever. And Yugioh's right in the middle of all that. If he just doesn't come back, like, why is he in the show?
Yeah.
Why was he here then?
Yeah, especially if you don't show us what happened to him after he left.
Like, unless you're going to end Go Rush with the same shot that you ended Sevens with, and you either now know it's Yuhi or you now know it's Yugioh, or there's still skepticism. You know what I mean? Like,
I
his
agree.
story's
It would
not
be.
over.
I think it would be a poor decision.
his story's
Yeah,
not over.
I think it'd be a poor decision.
Unless the next show is a trilogy, which I don't think any of us necessarily want the same characters again. That would be the only way.
Yeah.
As someone once said, you got to finish the story.
Finish the story.
They have
you
to finish it.
No, I fully agree. Angie, thank you for the $3 donation. After this, we are going to read the summaries for 128 and 129. Even though 128 aired yesterday, we still are going to read the summaries because we don't know anything from it.
We'll have it by for Wednesday. That'd be fun.
Absolutely. Angie, thank you so much for the donation. I wasn't here a whole time, so sorry, chat/crew, if this was mentioned. How was the Yu-Gi-Oh! Day event yesterday? Any highlights? It was very much mentioned in my opening monologue, so I could direct you to that, but I will also not be like one of those people like, I said it in the opening. We don't have time for it.
If
Yeah, make sure you look at my Cash App link.
If you just go back to the beginning and just watch from there, you'll catch up eventually.
No, it was, as I said in the beginning, for those that may have missed it, Astoria, New York, which it's so funny because we were probably 4 blocks from where you were last night.
Astoria?
Yeah, that's where
I didn't know that.
Museum of Moving Image, yeah. Museum of
Where were you
Moving
at?
Kenny's.
Oh, okay.
And he lives in, so maybe we weren't 4. I don't know how close we were. But
20 block.
Museum of Moving Image had in the Astoria, New York, had an event for Dark Side of Dimensions where they showed the movie. It was an incredible time. Met a lot of great voice actors, Ted Lewis, Bakura, Wayne Grayson, Joey, Taya's voice actress, Marek's voice actor, Jonathan Todd Ross, of course, who we've had on the podcast. Taya's is Amy Birnbaum. And we, of course, had as well Jen Silverman, the voice actress of Asana. She was really, really nice. I've actually known her. She was in my community before she got that role. So really, really cool. And then, of course, Dan Green, Eric Stewart, 2 of the more famous ones. And, we pull up Cal, you'll like this. And, me and Dredger were there. So a highlight was just being able to spend the day with him. Obviously, he's a very good friend, great dude. And we pull up, and, Dredger, he's a gambling man. And he goes, all right, Dill. Over, under 3.5 people who recognize you.
Yep.
Over, under. And I said under. I was like, I think maybe 2 or 3. And he kept track, and 11 people came up to me and
Wow,
recognized
that's
me. Yeah.
Dude, that's actually awesome.
No, it was really, really
Did
cool.
people recognize Dredge?
There were 2 people that recognized Dredge.
Really?
Yeah. Well,
Wow.
Underdog Chris, he comes by sometimes.
Oh,
He's in the
yeah.
Discord.
Yep,
He knew
yep.
both of us.
That's awesome.
But yes,
That's cool.
yeah, it was very flattering and very very nice. And I talked to a lot of people.
The ego, dude. It's got
I know it's massive. It's huge.
Very nice. And I said at the beginning,
is
if
awesome.
you were one of the people that came up to me, seriously, thank you. It meant the world to me. And, everybody like that was there, maybe outside of like Underdog Chris, like they were like, yeah, I love the podcast, watch the podcast a lot. And one person I asked, oh, what's your username? And they're like, I actually don't even have a YouTube account. I just like look it up after I'm done with the episodes.
Wild.
There's
That's
so
pretty
many.
cool.
It just reminds me there's so many people that lurk every week and watch like after the fact.
Yeah.
And that is so cool and kind. And I think that maybe is why Fui Weep donated, which
Yeah,
they
which was
obviously
really
did not
nice.
have to do, but it was so nice of them. So yeah, listen, you guys are incredible. It was awesome. And yeah, I had a great time. It was really, really fun.
Dredge said he was your bodyguard.
He acted like my bodyguard. Yeah, I was on the inside of the line, and he's standing there, looking. Well,
Classic.
he doesn't even need to look tough. He is.
He is
He
tough.
looks
He's a
tough,
menacing
yeah.
guy.
Menacing guy.
Just
So
being Dredge.
Also, Space
Very
Cowgirl
nice.
asked an interesting question. When is there going to be a Pyramid of Light screening?
hopefully never.
Would you go?
Of course.
Dill, by the way, we were 0.9 miles away from each other.
Really?
You looked it up. There you go.
0.9 miles.
Yeah. How funny is that?
20-minute walk.
20 blocks.
All right, you got me. It's about 10 blocks. That's about 20 blocks.
I see Donnie Arts and well certified lurker. I usually don't look at chat. Thank you, Donnie Arts. Yeah, to everybody, and there's never any pressure to ever comment or chat. Just thank you for enjoying the show. I truly do mean that. We got these summaries, spoilers on screen. That is again, I keep clicking the wrong thing. Dude.
You want to click that?
No,
lady.
I
Let's be
don't.
real.
I don't.
I feel like he does.
Some random. I think that's the girl we said Weir was going to end up with in GX.
Did we?
Yeah.
Good for Weird.
Oh yeah. Isn't she gonna like boss him around?
Yeah, I think
Is that
she's
the
like a
story?
little bossy.
Yeah, I can see that.
The tennis episode is a tale of caution.
Oh yeah, we mentioned you earlier. Oh, I did. Sorry, man.
Tennis episode.
I figured you're gonna watch this back. So you.
I will. I'm just thanks for letting me know ahead of time.
Yeah. Hey, listen, it's a cautionary tale, man.
Tomorrow morning with my morning cup of tea, I'll have this on.
I just don't want you to end up like that, man. Poor guy.
Poor guy.
My computer is slowing down.
I see that. It's kind of making me nervous. What if this is the time that
Dylan,
like
can
it dies?
can I just say something to you? That computer's been slowing down for years.
Well, Cal, can I say something to you? I read episode 128, my man.
Hold on. Hold on. I
I can't read it on my phone, so
I got you.
thank you. Carve a road of toil through it all and press onward.
Long title.
Manabu and Co. start a rebellion in order to stop Yumu and Yuna's plan, but it ends in failure. They are then sent to an underground labor facility. Supervised by the Dark Drones, Manabu and Co. are forced to toil in front of a giant device. As Manabu and Epoch try to find a way to escape, they discover an entrance to the giant device.
What do you think the giant device is?
The relic.
That's what came to my mind too, but I feel like the relic's not giant.
I feel like. Why? What do you think's giant?
Well, what did you just get?
There was, I don't even know if it was this show or Seven's. Wasn't there like a big device like in the basement of the Goha Corporation building or something like that?
I think it was it the ruins on the floor? No, maybe not that.
No, but the ruins is where the relic, we first saw the relic.
Yes. Well, I guess that relic was pretty big.
It
I feel
was.
like it also like we've seen
But
Kwai Duel and several things.
Yeah, like-
shift. It could get big.
Yeah, it could be big.
But like they know what they know what that is.
With more with
Wouldn't they say just the relic?
it's one of those things too. With more time, it could get bigger.
Yeah,
So,
but they know what the relic is.
yes.
So wouldn't they just say the relic?
yeah, probably.
Probably.
I think they.
But,
well,
like,
it's
that was the
Manabu. It's
first-
not the main crew.
Yeah, but that was the first thing that came to my head. But it could
Yeah.
also be like that card making machine. But like we've seen that too. So
could be a spaceship.
could
Right?
Be, oh, wasn't?
I think
that
it-
what
I think
was?
that's
It
what it
a
was. It was
Spaceship
a
in the
spaceship.
basement.
It was.
Yeah.
Could
That-
be.
I think they used that then to get to space.
That's
to
what
do
London.
Lotus.
That's what London pulled out.
Yeah.
You rolled up in that
Oh, right. Yeah.
with the what was it? What arc was that? Arc 3, I think. It was.
Yeah. Oh, God. I can't remember anything London did.
Could
No.
be a Rush Duel robot down there too.
Oh yeah, maybe the server. Maybe
like
that's
another Rush Duel
maybe
robot
that's where
or
the
something?
server is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was with the Lug, right? That's why he
Yes,
went up there to
R3.
duel
Yep,
him
yep,
and
you're
then got
right.
froze. Yeah.
And then got killed. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Episode 129, Pete. This is for next week, of course.
The insect ninja attack. With the new Otis at the helm, the Goha company has transformed into a global corporation. Among those who have sided with the new Goha is a group that seeks to cause chaos and mayhem in the world. Intending to offer the rebels to Goha as a present, Nanahoshi Tenden comes along with the branch of the Nanahoshi family to challenge Yugioh to a duel.
This is a new Nanahoshi, right? 1010 definitely is a new Nanahoshi.
I would imagine, yeah.
So maybe we get some more backstory on your favorite girl, Ron. Right? Very, very exciting stuff there. So a lot for you to look forward to.
She did a lot in these last few episodes.
You know, I am very excited to find out more about Ron's past. I think that's actually how we should end the show. It's just a 26 episode arc on Ron.
I'll be honest. Oh my God, X Slayer! I didn't even see that.
Yeah, I was just gonna let you finish it.
Jesus Christ, X Slayer, dude! Thank you so much for the $50 super
Such a
chat.
great thing,
Thank you,
though,
X.
Thank you so much. And
So
I wish I had
what does
the
it say?
I wish I had the soundboard. Mid. That's a lot better. And no, chat. X Slayer is not calling the episode mid. He is calling me as a content creator and as a person mid. So don't worry.
I think he was just talking about your dual skills.
Well, if he's calling my dual skills mid, that's kind of a compliment.
Yeah.
I mean, really. X Slayer, dude, thank you so freaking much for the $50 super chat. Here is a man that I know is getting very excited for Jump Festa. Wow.
Is he gonna be there?
Yeah, I hope he'll be in the chat.
He also said, "I'm saying mid to the crew."
Oh, okay.
So we're all mid.
Yeah.
Damn.
Well, now I feel better.
Yeah,
I
we're all
feel
mid.
a lot worse.
Listen, I
That's
thought
the first time I think he's called any of you guys.
I thought
mid.
me and X Slayer
It's
were
all right,
cool.
X. No, it's fine. I have to get back in the gym. He's right. I'm mid right now.
right,
But
man.
Dill, a lot of people are saying we've seen this group already. Like, remember the theme park?
Yeah, the amusement park.
Yeah,
Maybe it's them.
I mean it's probably some of them. Yes, I would imagine. Did we see the specific one though? Dill's computer's lost.
It doesn't even have a cert. Oh,
That computer is done.
gonna have somebody build you another computer.
Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun. Go Ryush.
I just don't remember this character at all.
No, I don't either.
I'll be honest.
You don't remember the Nanahoshis a lot?
No, I'll be honest. I'm not very excited for these 2 episodes.
It's fair.
Well, want to know why?
Why?
Because it's the beginning of an arc, and it's not. We just got out of a really juicy end.
Well,
to
this
an
last arc started with Yugioh Yuhi.
It's true.
That was an interesting duel.
It's true.
I don't know.
But
Now,
that-
again, when my expectations are lower, by the way, that's usually better
Yeah.
because the episode surprises me.
True.
So we'll see.
True.
Which is exciting.
Let them cook, man.
You guys let me know how you're feeling about these 2. I'm going to go to the restroom. I'm going to change the remote. We are going to change the clock to the right clock,
Sure.
the right time, because I'm going to get batteries.
He's a week off.
And you guys, and you know what is inspiring me to do this? X Slayer. I think
because this show is mid. This production.
no. I think if we had the right time on the clock, X Slayer would not call us mid.
I think we can solve world hunger, and he would still.
No,
insult
you're
us.
wrong, man. You're wrong. All right, let's do it.
He needs this. He needs this bad.
Good luck.
So, Cal, how's it going, man? I haven't seen you in a bit.
Yeah,
It's been a minute.
it's going pretty well. I mean, ever since our trip, I've had sciatica in my leg or some shit.
Oh,
Because
awesome.
I've just been
When you
limping
got hurt on the
around all the
beach?
time. Yeah.
So, did you get it checked out, or
I have to call the chiropractor tomorrow. I just wasn't able to go this week.
why are
so-
you getting old, man?
I don't know. I turned 30. My stomach gave out. My leg gave out. My memory gave out. It's all going downhill for me.
Listen, you could do the stanky leg at parties now.
I literally had
And
to
that's
do this
something.
stanky leg to bend over to pick up the volleyball,
Oh,
which
Cal.
was very tough to do.
Cal, that's not good, Cal.
Yeah.
Let me let you in on something that we all collectively have to come together. Maybe not Nick T, because he's
We're
never
old.
around. Me, you, and Dredge. This guy right here eats horribly.
True.
Doesn't exercise at all.
True.
Does nothing to solve or help himself as
His-
he ages.
His diet is a lot better with Vree here,
Yeah,
and when
it's-
she's making food.
Still bad.
But
Still bad. We cannot, collectively, the three of us, we cannot let this guy outlive us. We can't let this guy be
he's
healthier than us.
100% outliving
We
me.
can't let it happen.
It's gonna happen.
We can't let it happen, man. We have to do something.
This comes back to Dylan Luck.
It can't keep continuing, man.
Dylan
Okay.
Luck. He's gonna be like 85, and he's just gonna be chilling. We're gonna be long gone. Like,
We have to come together on this one. You can't give out on me yet.
yeah. I
You
mean,
want to fall on your sword already.
the good thing is I'm getting it out of the way. So it's like one step back to take 2 steps forward, right?
Yeah, that's a way to look.
But
at
it's more of like 4 steps back to take 5 steps forward. So those 5 steps are gonna be tough.
it. Yeah, they are gonna be. God, this month is so busy, dude.
I basically need to get my whole like body figured out in the next month because
Yeah,
then I go to
'cause
Japan.
When do you leave for Japan?
November 16th.
Oh, okay. So you're coming up.
Yeah. So
You
I
gotta
gotta
be
get that figured out.
You gotta be excited, man.
I'm and that's why like
I think
went,
Latrell just came back.
yeah, I went to hang out with Kenny because we were talking about Japan and then watching the Yankee game.
Right.
So and they got me so hyped for it because they've been there. They're like, oh, this is so cool.
It's
this,
gonna
this,
be
and
it's gonna be
that."
great.
And I'm
Remember
like,
our deal on the swords.
Yes, if I find some good ass katana,
Like a real place
good
that makes it.
katanas and stuff,
That
yeah,
makes it.
I'll ship them here.
You know I'm in.
I told Kenny and Liz, I was like, I'm probably getting a katana. That may be where I spend all of my money.
I mean, it's fair, dude. You should.
Yeah. I also need to get a new phone so that I have a good camera for the trip.
Why? What do you got?
I have a 12.
Oh, okay. So you kind of. So you're gonna get the
I'm
16.
I'm 4 versions behind. It the battery life is like
I
max
went
70%.
I went from 10 to 14, so that's where I jumped the 4.
Yeah.
So I try to get at least 40 years out of the phone. What are you hearing him? You remember when he
What
said
is he doing?
batteries would be easy to get?
Is that what he's doing? He's rustling looking for batteries?
He has no idea where they are.
I mean, I don't I have AA batteries.
Lord Almighty!
I think he needs AAA batteries.
Did you find him?
Did you take them from the remote? Nope. Are you sure? If I go upstairs to turn on the TV, will it work?
It will work.
Okay.
All right.
He changed 1 battery in each.
By the way,
Invite him.
I hate this, chat. I hate this. I would love to be 68 days, 22 hours, 13 minutes, 27 seconds away from Jump Festa. Unfortunately, though,
It's not true.
the clock is a lie.
Are we a
As
week?
is most things on
Are
this
we a
channel.
week too soon?
Yeah.
Because it's what, the 21st, 22nd,
Mm.
whatever.
Correct.
21st.
Yeah.
It's one of those.
It's
days.
right before Christmas. It's
That's
that Friday.
actually good because the weekend before is my my goddaughter's christening.
Oh.
So like
God bless.
I wouldn't have been up all night to then go
Yeah,
to that.
20.
So
20. Yeah, you live a busy life, man.
yeah, man, it's a great way to stay in shape.
All right.
Apparently not.
No, it's a great way to beat yourself up.
75 days.
525,600 minutes.
Perfect, dude.
Thank you.
Okay. Now time is frozen. I don't know why. You deal with it. You fix it.
I'll
As-
deal with
As
it.
Dylan says most things in life,
All right.
you deal with it.
X Slayer, seriously, thank you so much, man. There's no duel to pick. There's no pick 'em.
No.
So
I mean, our pick'em's been dead for a while.
we haven't done it in a while.
We haven't been able to.
I know. Elaine, thank you so much for the 100 bits. I really like Udius and Quaidul's scene in the episode. Hoping we get more of Udius and Quaidul scenes in the next 2 arcs. I'm sure we will.
I think we will.
Team Udius for the win. I send the video to you in Discord. Can you please play it on stream? You know, I don't have the headset up.
You know how funny it would be if it's just like a video of like a Viking celebration, just to troll you.
Oh, of like what, the Vikings?
The Vikings beating the Jets. Say it's like
No,
she
Elaine-
edited a whole video.
Elaine wouldn't do that. Could you imagine?
That would be funny. Who knows, dude? This man is something.
I didn't do anything with the clock. Hold on. Let me go to messages. Let me go to
Why would it stop moving?
I'll figure it out. Don't worry. Time is not broken.
Should you just turn it off back on? Simple reset. Oh, Lord, what is that? That's us.
It's a full one. Okay, hold on. You know what? I'm gonna for Elaine. Hold on. Let me.
Oh my.
Don't worry.
Oh my.
Chat, we're going to play a clip from an old podcast.
Guys, we're never getting the Jump Festa. The clock won't
No.
go down.
And if the clock doesn't go down, we can't do Jump Festa. So it's a real critical moment here.
I don't even want to hit a button because I don't want to mess it up.
I mean, it's already screwed up. You might as well go for it.
I'm going to fix it.
He's not. He's
What
not.
if I hit clock?
TikTok.
Clock. It's going up.
Okay. Now, whatever you did, go the opposite
Down.
way.
Down. Clock.
Just leave it alone. I'm going
Clock.
to, because it's already screwed up.
Stop.
Like, it's not 13 minutes anymore. It's 10 minutes. I got to
Stop.
change. It's fine. I'll change. I'll deal with it. Okay. We are going to play a clip that Elaine found. Okay. You guys at home will be able to hear this.
Oh, no.
I'm not 100% sure what this clip. Okay, well,
I mean, what are we doing?
it just is what it is. I'm not sure what this clip entails, but we're going to listen to it. It's not going to show up on screen. All right, here we go. This is from earlier in the Crazy 8's podcast, but it's much earlier.
Okay. So, like, not this episode, like, way in the beginning.
Yeah.
Those are very drastic.
Timeline video or me getting a girlfriend? What comes first?
Oh, God, that's hard.
Don't
Timeline
make
video.
us say that. Yeah. Don't make us say
I don't
it.
say it in a douchey way.
Me getting a girlfriend or
I would've
timeline
said
video, which
girlfriend.
comes first?
Hey, you never know.
Thanks,
You
Greg.
never know. You never know.
The timeline video.
Oh, okay.
It came out years ago.
That's because I don't think it'll ever come out.
What will you guys give me if it comes out?
This is about
Before
part
his
two.
girlfriend?
A high five.
I will buy you dinner at
Wow.
whatever restaurant you choose.
All right.
Wow, how about that?
There you go. You got a free dinner.
So Dredge. How many
Well,
dinners is Elaine gonna cost Dredger on these
A lot.
on these dumb bets we made?
Well, no, it looks like you're going to the melting pot, my brother.
Hey, he's taking you out, man.
Dredge, I'd love we could just go to like Urban Coalhouse or something, Dredge.
No, I don't think that counts, Dredge. I don't think that counts.
I think that was a different bet. than
Yeah, I
people-
don't think that counts.
Well, hang
my
on, because
friend.
I think you bet something too. Let's keep listening.
Oh shit.
I'll buy you
You said
some,
like a
I'll buy you
solid
some
pat on
dress
the
up.
back.
We're
Yeah.
going to Red Bank.
I'll
buy you some
Bonacera?
crumble
Bonacera?
cookies.
Oh, I
I
love
said I'd buy you
Yeah,
crumble
so
cookies.
you owe me crumble. Okay.
You'll get a
Crumble
job
cookies
well
for your
done.
honeymoon.
Okay, thank you.
So I'm the only one that's really offering anything up here.
Yeah, Nick T, what do you want?
I offered up crumble cookies.
You offering the deed to your house if I do this?
No, I'll do like a good
That
hug.
ain't worth much. Good hug, okay.
Ooh, a good
I
hug.
want a
Nick owes
good
me a
hug.
hug.
I'll give you a
What do I
good
have to do for that?
Can I get a good hug?
Oh, you hear that?
Yeah. We don't even need anything but a good hug.
You just get Nick T a little drunk and that's
hug.
the
That's
hug.
it. That's all you need.
All right, I think we'll
What are we drinking?
take
Couple
some super
bevies.
chats.
What about linkers?
Dinner. At whatever restaurant you choose.
A firm handshake.
I'll buy
Oh,
you-
so you owe me a firm handshake.
Hey, man.
Thank you so much, man.
Great job, man.
Thank you, dude.
I was smart with
Hey,
mine.
Dill,
That was incredible.
can I change crumble cookie to like Carvel or something? I've been craving ice cream lately.
Sure.
Yeah.
Any dessert, I think that's fair.
Next night.
And you know what, Dredge? The dinner we can do like Wendy's or something.
We used to do Wendy's best.
Yeah, I'm not
All the
gonna
time.
I'm not gonna make him. You know,
The
he's
next-
a very nice guy.
He could take you to Shake Shack.
Sure, I'll get a burger. Yeah.
the next night we're both home, so probably in like a couple weeks, we can get ice cream.
Yeah, that's right. You guys.
Elaine-
our schedules have been bad.
Great find there, Elaine. Well, listen. You guys are all incredible. I am so grateful for each and every one of you. Seriously, I had such an incredible day yesterday. Really put a lot into perspective for me that Yugioh at the end of the day is a fandom that is filled with really, really good people and people that just love all of these shows in different ways and in different styles. And I think it's a wonderful thing. I want to thank Pete and Cal for taking time out of their very busy life to join me tonight on a random Sunday. Shout out to Dredger as well, who's been in chat like the whole stream. So that's awesome as well. Huge shout out to him. Pete, anything that you want to promote, anything going on in your world?
Yeah, Clueless Gamers on YouTube. Do a football podcast over there with my friend Brian and I. There's a new episode up right now if you want to go check that out. And I'm on Dylan's Twitch, Super Deep Ride, on Thursday nights, usually 8:30 EST. So come check me out over there. We'll see what we're doing on Thursday.
Absolutely. Cal, what about you?
So our friend Dredger streams on Twitch.
That's
It's
right.
twitch.tv/Dredgenator. So definitely check him out. He does some cool stuff over there. I don't really have anything going on to promote, so I'll just promote his
You're
Twitch
too
instead.
busy.
Follow him and Nick T Nameling. You can find his stuff in the description as well. Huge thank you to everybody that donated and super chatted. A special thank you to Fui Weep and X-Slayer, both donating very, very generous amounts of money tonight. Thank you both
Awesome.
so much. Thank you to everybody
thank you.
who donated and super chatted. Thank you to everybody who watched, lurked, you know, I see you, I know who you are, and I love you and appreciate you. Thank you all so much for watching. This has been Talking Yu-Gi-Oh! Crazy 8s, episodes 125 through 127, the Otis Ohdo connection. I know I screwed that up, right? It was Ohdo Otes.
Yeah, that's fine. It's close enough.
Close enough. Thank you all. Thank you all so much for watching. We should be back Wednesday with more Crazy 8s, as long as pending the episode release, of course. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have
An amazing day.
Take care, guys. Good night. Let's get into Arc 11. See you then.